All right, guys. Today is Monday. Welcome again to the Closing Acumen. The guys from uh, Hot FM will join us shortly. Uh, uh, he will join us shortly. So we want to invite you. Welcome, welcome. So welcome, guys. Welcome. We, welcome to the Closing Acumen. I want to thank all of you guys. Uh, 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 for this, for coming on tonight. And so, I want to thank you guys, all those who donated to us on Friday. It was a very, very generous of you for your donation. Uh, 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 I want to thank you for your gift. Thank you for everything that you've done. Uh, uh, we appreciate you. Welcome, John V. Caddy. Caddy, welcome. We thank all of you for your wonderful, wonderful gift. Let me see uh, if I can uh, uh, just put it a name. Uh, uh, but welcome, guys. Welcome. Uh, welcome, welcome. So, yes, guys. Let me see if I can put it the names of folks who contributed. Welcome. Today is a very special show. It's going to be rather hot. It's going to be uh, uh, a special show. A lot happening in Liberia. The president of Liberia is here. He was in New York on Friday. Was it Friday? Saturday? Saturday he was in New York, and yesterday he spoke at a summit in New York. While he's here, the Senate also came up with their own committee to set up to investigate them and found themselves of no wrongdoing. So, welcome, Abraham here. Welcome, all of you watching us via YouTube and other places. We'd like to welcome you as well to the Closing Argument. It's good to always see you on this Monday. We'll be touching on a wide range of stuff today. Uh, uh, on the wide range of stuff. So we actually to come forward, sit in, and let's do this. But we're looking forward to a great show. Welcome, Abraham Sie, watching from Clariton, Hotel Soir, watching from New Hope, PA. Uh, Aisha Pa, she said, we are here to correct people in the comment section. Well, yeah, then keep talking. The Kasha will block them. Just simple. We don't play. If you don't disagree, if you disagree with anybody, you don't have to cuss them. People have the view to say what they want to say. I don't care what you do. Jackie Monassier, good to see you. Good to see you. So I don't know why they be cussing people that disagree with them. I really don't understand that thing. You come in, you and somebody disagree, or the person says something, just you can say, "Oh, I disagree," or "I don't like this," but you can't be cussing people, folks. That's not what we're here for. To be cussing people. We should grow out of that by now. Definitely, we should grow out of it. So we should grow out of it by now. Well, we just get mad that we cuss people. Not correct. It's not correct at all. You know, it is not correct. But it's good. It's good to be here. It's good to see everybody as you make your way. I encourage you to share the show. Please share the show as you make your way. We'll be talking on a wide range. That's why Closing Acumen is here for, to touch on issues Asata Miller, good evening, closely accurate family watching from Soaking. Welcome, Asata. We are very happy to have you as well. Welcome. Very, very delighted to have you, Asata. So, so welcome, welcome, welcome. But as I was saying, I wanted to thank people who donated on to our program on Friday. We just want to thank you, and I want to call those names again. Uh, our family, thank you. Trukon Bayou, thank you for your generous gift. Howard Trukon. Julius Brown, thank you for your gift. Robert Garguah did give $200. Thank you. Love to Hawkins, thank you so much for your gift. Love Abraham Kane, thank you. Alice, thank you. Vera Hiding, thank you. Stephen Sly, thank you for your gift. Gwendolyn John, thank you. Rufus Doway, thank you. Marcel Peters, thank you. Alice Chuchu Jones, thank you. Felicia Freeman, thank you. Nora Hawks, thank you very much. Uh, Tomalin George, thank you. Kehleboe Gongloe, thank you. Hawa Masale, thank you. Makan Kitchen, thank you very much. Professor Winifred Smith, thank you very much. Lawrence Kennedy, Professor, thank you. Uh, and all those who gave through Zelle, Ivan Loken, thank you for your gift. Others did donate. I will go to the Zelle and call the name. Uh, 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 Thank you. So the guys will be joining us soon. But guys, there's a lot. I will go to the Zelle very shortly and just announce Alvin Loki and others. BN Givler Kessley of Delaware, thank you for that big donation. And the another anonymous giver from uh, uh, Iran give us that give us a give as well. So we want to appreciate you. Thank you. If you didn't have the time and still want to give yours, it's still here. TCA, TCA, the $ TCA 2500 is the cash out. If you still want to still want to be part of it, you can do that. The $ TCA 2500. And so yeah, you can still get if you want to. But we thank you for coming on. We're still waiting to see the other guys come. Okay, patient. This is I'll send you the cell. Send you the number. And so that's the cell number there, patient. So, but welcome, guys. It's a lot going on in the country. The budget was passed last week by the House. They ignore everything. They're wrong. And what they were doing, and they passed it. Everything they ignored and passed it. Then they went to the Senate. The first thing the Senate did was to set up a committee to investigate what were placed in the budget. They came back and said they're not wrong. Their own investigation cleared all of them. So that's where we found ourselves today as Liberians. They think it's so funny. That's where we found ourselves today. We are a corrupt state, so we can't do anything. They sat down there and voted. The only person I know that put a reservation on that budget, Senator Saad Joseph, had a press conference, and hopefully I will call him and let him talk about that today. On that budget, he had a reservation, and on that budget, but nothing will happen. Nothing will happen in that country. Nothing is going to happen. That's Liberia. and we make noise from nothing. We got big mouth, and nothing going to happen in that country. We just talk and talk. You see, but we at Front Page Africa want to bring you the news that's free and fair. We don't deal with people. We don't go after people just to tarnish their reputation. We go on the fact. If you in the budget the other day, there were $2.3 million that were added to the budget. Uh, the miscellaneous, unexplained miscellaneous, $2.3 million that was added to that budget, unexplained. Nobody know what's going to happen to that money. They said for miscellaneous, but they didn't explain why that was there. And we sat here, we criticized former president. We are corruption, corruption, corruption. But yeah, we are. We in a big time. There's a lot of things happening in that budget. More money were added to the Ministry of State. Of course, they had to. They added more money there. More money were added. I mean, you look at the thing, you say, wow, wow, Liberia. So I told you the investigation was not going to yield any result. It was not. Nothing was going to yield any result on that investigation. And now I see Chairman McGill, Honorable McGill, is calling for them to investigate somebody else. Like what a funny country. People steal, then they say even call the other person they will investigate somebody else for steal. I realize a country a road calling to my air road. The way God will do that, they say God laugh. Hmm? My girl is calling somebody else, they will open investigation. I don't know. How like people can trust people like that. Hmm? So everything, other going after other people calling other role. How many roles we got in a Senate? How many roles we got in a Senate? And we're sitting here I understand from the U.S. Embassy in Liberia, they have a visiting U.S. government gested delegation to Liberia. Let me just read this and then we'll continue as the other guy, John. This is from September 22nd to the 24th. An interagency delegation of representatives from the U.S. Department of State Office of Global Criminal Justice, Homeland Security Investigation, Department of Justice Attorney Office of Philadelphia, the Federal Bureau of Investigation will visit Liberia to strengthen U.S.-Liberian cooperation across the justice sector and contribute to Liberia's effort to establish the War and Economic Crime Court. The delegation will meet with Liberian government as well as Liberian counterpart in law enforcement, the legal sector, civil society, to build partnership, exchange ideas, and share experience with regard to prosecuting complex cases in trauma-informed and victim-centric way. The delegation brings extensive experience investigating and prosecuting war crime and other atrocity crime as well as victim support. It goes on to say, we commend Liberia's commitment to build a war and economic crime court. We are proud to send this delegation to Liberia to support local effort toward justice and accountabilities, said Ambassador at Large for Global Criminal Justice, Beth Van Schuck. We stand ready to be a partner as Liberia takes on this challenge, and we hope this visit will be the start of a productive relationship where both U.S. and Liberian officials can learn from each other. Good news. Very good news. Very good news. And they will go to Liberia and hear of. I believe those who committed atrocity in Liberia must be persecuted. Zero. Strongly believe issue. War and economic crime court. They must be persecuted. No, no cleaning. Let them. Those who killed. There are some people who are still waiting for justice for the family who have died many years ago. You know, my family as well. You know, have people that died from this. You know, and need to bring justice to some of those people who did the killing and and all of that. But it's really sad for our country. What is going on now? We totally good to see you with guests being in your country or going to your country, and to hear all these small Ali, if I was, I think there's a need to suspend like the president of Sudan did. Suspend the whole legislature. You know, or yeah, because they're not in the interest of the Liberian people. How can the senator appoint her own pro tem, appoint her own committee, and then again the committee say we didn't do nothing wrong. You see, so Liberia is something else, and it's very very sad for our country. But Tony Josh, welcome. Tony, we can't hear you. You're muted. Or you have to go on come.
Oh,
Welcome.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yes,
now.
it's good to be back, Doug. It's always good to be on the closing argument, and uh, all is well. We just thank God for good health and for the gift of life. Um, a lot's happening in our country. As you're aware, the president of the republic is in New York uh, to attend his first United Nations General Assembly as president of Liberia. He and his delegation arrived from Canada over the weekend. In fact, we were in New York when he was arriving at the town hall meeting, but then we did not attend. We had to come back to Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So we just dropped off our friends and returned to our respective locations. But President Boga will be addressing the General Assembly on the 25th, which is Wednesday, I think. And President Joe Biden will address the Assembly, his last UN address as President of America on tomorrow, I believe. And other world leaders are all here and will be attending that same conference. And there are meetings going on the sidelines of the UN at the president's delegation. We look forward to see what's in the president's speech. For me, I'm particularly looking forward to see what he will say about the war crimes court in Liberia. As Peabody just read, the United States have sent a delegation to Liberia to show you that they are very serious about it. So the president, there's no time to play games. Those who committed the most heinous atrocities in our country will be held accountable, and we'll be able to close that chapter. But again, I want to say thanks again to all those who contributed on Friday to our fundraiser. We appreciate you guys, and we want to say that the closing argument will be full and alive. Our guys will be all in the streets in Monrovia and throughout Liberia, and bringing the news to us live. And we are also going to do a lot of stuff to make sure they are mobile and able to get around, do whatever they need to do to get us the news. And we appreciate that. And we are able to at least go places where we couldn't go. I want to say, and another good news is that the management of True FM have given us full, as of effective next month, full 5 days a week. We'll be coming on 5 days a week instead of only 3 days. And that's we need more support, but we're just happy that we have 5 days a week. So we'll be coming on every day next beginning in October. So look forward to expanding our platform and bringing the news as it happens. But again, it's good to be back. And let's talk about the trending news in the country, the budget, the issue with ARA, Ministry of Commerce, and all that's going on. We'll talk about it, and we'll give you some issues and facts that are surrounding what's happening. We know there's issue in Unity Party. They are doing an infighting. We know what's happening there. We know why they are fighting each other. We'll break some news here tonight and so forth. But for now, let us rock and roll. Peabody.
Certainly, yes. As I was saying, they have this going on in Liberia that everybody should, there was the Minister of Commerce, and I see some of the people who are calling for his dismissal. I say Liberia, people who have no character when it comes to transparency. So I want us to get into that. What happened? I believe in the facts. I don't just believe in just getting out there spreading things until I get all the facts. And also, the Senate has passed the recast budget. Something that I was not surprised of, or I'm not surprised of. They have passed it, and we knew it was going to go. They were just making noise because all of them have a share. Do you know that the budget of the legislature was increased? They added additional, I think, $4 million for the legislature in the budget. So, so that's going to be. We're going to discuss that tonight. But they added money there for themselves. Why they won't pass it? That's why the committee said they accused them of no wrongdoing. They put money in there for themselves in the budget. The legislature did it. And some of the people you need to watch out for in the legislature, you got men as Prince Myean. Those are horrible people, criminals in the Senate. Horrible. The only thing they go there for to fight for is money. That's all they do. Fingering the budget. They added additional $4 million to the budget. Additional $4 million something dollars to the budget. Then you got people, the former pro-Trump who was sanctioned. You got a group of sanctioned folks, the McGill, the Abuchi, all of them on committee to investigate itself. What do you expect of that? So, when, so Liberia is something else. Something else. The Hott passed it. We thought the Hott would have been the most. The only person that could really stand up and say, you know what, this is not good for the country. I oppose it. Was Representative Musa Bealded. He was the only one that stood up. The rest gave me excuses, but the budget was passed. They know what's passing, but they gave me excuses all day. Oh, oh, they did this, oh, they did that. So I mean, I don't know why they did that, but I was not surprised at all. I have not been surprised by the passage of that bill, but to see folks say the link not working. Is that true? Chris is trying to come on, but they add a lot of money. They added $1.33 million to the executive budget. They cut some other areas, who badly needed money. They cut that, and everybody took care of themselves. Everybody took care of themselves. So Julius, good to see you. Welcome, Julius. What's up?
Thank you, Dr. Peabody. Good to be on here. Tomalin, how you doing? Yeah, definitely. Like you, I mean, you rightfully mentioned, you know, the gross disregard for the state of the nation is one thing that you know I have sensed from this government. Um, and it's sad. It is sad that we would sit here and talk about these things as though it's just it's just normal. People have made it to appear as though it's normal. When you speak of corruption, they said the previous government did it. Okay. When you speak of wasteful spending, they will also speak of have it alluded to previous government. And when you talk about the change that was promised, then they will find another excuse. It's almost as though we have no sense of direction. The level of gross incompetence that we are experiencing from this group of rescue or mission folks is unbelievable. But sometimes, like somebody said to me, Lofa, you guys have to understand that every time you decide to wash your hands, whatever germ that is on your hands, it is your decision to wash them off. So whatever you clean off your hands is at your benefit. Liberians chose to bring upon themselves the level of suffering that they're going through today. Because nobody in their right mind should ever think of or should have considered the Unity Party as an option to move Liberia forward. After the previous records, 12 consecutive years, considering the record and you understanding that you're not bringing back Madame Saliv, you're not bringing back a man who sat and made it clear to you 40 some more years of his existence in government, nothing substantial to prove that his existence in government can actually be built upon, and you thought to bring him back to government and give him power. And that's why sometimes as of recent, a lot of us continue to highlight the fact that we have been vindicated. We told you guys, we're not here to rub salt in the wounds of Liberians who are actually going through the struggles right now, but the reality remains. The things that we are talking were obvious. Look, Dr. Peabody, you would never get promotion at your job if you are underperforming. And I challenge any one of you on here today. I challenge you to prove me right or prove me wrong. If you were underperforming at your job, would you be considered for promotion or any kind of salary increase? Unless it is being done across the board, then you will be considered, because they don't want to have to be selective in the process. Other than that, you're not going to get no promotion. But this is what we continue to do. Look at the folks we have representing us. Look at the folks we have representing us. Your representatives and senators. They're not about you. They're not about the people. Did you see the floor at the Capitol? One would say it did not start under Joseph Boyka's government. You know why? One applied for a job. But anyway, let me start. Let me just kind of hold off on here with my intro and say, this is not what we expected or what the people expected. Let me be concise here. This is not what the people expected, but I knew that under President Joseph Numa Boyka's leadership, Liberia won't have gone anywhere, not a step further than where she was, not a step further than where she is, not a step further than where we ever expected to be. And this is what we're saying. The reality is unfolding. All of these boys running from here, going out there just to sustain themselves because they cannot, sustain themselves in the diaspora because of the competition that exists here. They cannot stand the competition.
Right, Lofa. Too many comment. You're right, Lofa.
Yes. Look, that's why I was telling someone just now. Honestly, even those who supported the rescue team, the mission to come on, those who read it, championed the cause, who fought for them, they are not complaining, and I believe that some of this complaint. Somebody again echo.
Tell him to turn. The Lasana need to turn his audio, whatever it is, on the back.
Yes, and I'm not. If I believe if they were benefiting or having some seat at the table right now, they won't be running after these guys and attacking them and calling. They want to pretend that they have some moral voice here for the country to say they want to please their moral voice, all because they are being ignored and they are being forgotten. So I'm not going to join them to do it. So, like the issue about, I don't know what we're discussing first, but we're discussing the budget first. We'll go to the other issue with the ARN. Which one we're discussing first?
We started off with the budget.
Okay, the budget. For example, the national budget. On Friday, the House of Representatives went and passed the budget, pretending as if they were not aware about what was in the budget. Only to find out they got $4.5 million in that budget for themselves, the House of Representatives. But they acted as if to say the Ministry of Finance took it from them and just share it among themselves. But they all aware what happened. And if you look at that budget that they passed, they cut education, they cut health, they cut a lot of stuff that the rescue team said that they came to fix. They cut it down and added more money to Ministry of State and NSA. Okay, they added more money there. Even you'll be surprised. The orator, the lady who presented our 2020 speech, they gave us some money in the budget too. And they gave us 10G. The lady want to say blast America and all the thing. She got 10G. Okay, that budget, and I'm happy the UP got a guest panelist from the UP here tonight. Let me see whether he will come and defend them, and we have to see it. But happy Lasana Corner is here tonight on the UPN. Let's see what happens tonight. But I know you'll meet people at Lofa and Peabody, then you have to face them. So let's see what happens. But on a serious note, the budget that it passed was not in the interest of the Liberian people, and the lawmakers then should not lie and say only the executive. I've been arguing all weekend with people. They shouldn't put all the blame on JMB. No, the lawmakers and the executive are all in cahoots with that budget. They know what is in there for them. They are aware of it. They know exactly everything they're in. They are aware of it. So you shouldn't pretend as if to say the budget is only the executive. No, they're all part of it. They know what happened in that budget. As the program progress, we will break down and tell you with key areas in our budget that we should look at, that they put money in it. In fact, right now, they already have done off budget spending, which is against the law. Almost $16 billion. How can they account for it? We don't know. Who will account for it? But let us continue the discussion, and we'll provide more to the discourse. Lasana, welcome. Peabody, back to you.
Yes, good to see you, and good to see you, Lasana. Good to see everybody. But yeah, I said Lofa, all of that. Grace will be joining us. Others will be joining us soon. But I was just looking at an article here from the front page newspaper, and it said the government U.S. 15 million off budget expenditure in 9 months raises eyebrow, and they wanted to say among the reported 15 million expenditure, the Liberian government spent 2.30609 in the unexplained miscellaneous, an additional 2.5 million on covert operation through the National Security Agency. The House of Representatives used $1.5 million for a sitting, while the Senate used $812,000 for the same purpose. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the House? So what's that unexplained miscellaneous? Why even was there a recast? Guy. Grace, thank you for joining us. Good to see you. So let's begin the show. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about 2.307.609 on miscellaneous, unexplained miscellaneous. What is that miscellaneous? Who want to go first? Lasana, you want to go first? Maybe for the UP government, maybe you can share with us.
Well, yeah, that would probably be a good idea for
Yeah.
the fact that he actually, a matter of fact, from the Senate side of things, he represents Darius DeLonce's office. He probably could give us insight, and I don't know what aspect of the office he represents, but he could probably help us understand on here what it is that the miscellaneous cover when we speak of, all of those things. So I think it's a good idea.
First, I want to say a very big thank you to uh, the closing argument. It's a pleasure to be on here, provided us the opportunity to be here to be able to speak to our people, provide authentic, balanced information and education to our people across the country. It is a good thing to be here. I think it is also a constitutional responsibility upon every citizen, whether home and abroad, to have access to information and also be able to provide the rightful information to the public. Because almost everything, anything we say up here, we have a negative or positive implication on our country. So, in line with the discussion, I I think we are discussing the budget. It is a good thing to do recast. The essence of recast most often is on the basis of two things. Either there is a deficit or the government is about to do some shifting in priority issue in the budget. And I think that is what the government is doing. There was a presumed deficit in the budget in the tune of now point, I think $1 million. Uh, but when the recast budget was submitted to the legislature, they were able to have maneuver around the SOE and also try to do some borrowing to be able to fill up the gap in order to avoid the deficit in the budget. So, as the budget was submitted and passed in May, I mean, the national budget, as it was submitted and passed, President Buhari's first national budget, it is still the same as the recast budget. The only thing that has changed was just a little bit shift of some resources from priority issue to other sector. Like for instance, uh, overheard people discussing like have the money was deducted from there for education. But today, if you really follow the Senate deliberation on the budget before taking their vote, or from the chairperson on the Ways Means Finance Committee, Senator Moye, it was very clear that health education, the budget as was passed and approved in the national budget, the 2023 national budget, it is still the same. The fiscal year 2024 budget, it is still the same. There is no deduction. Maybe it is reflected in the recast budget that from health was maybe $68 million, they deducted $2 million from there. But when the budget appeared before the Senate and the legislature, they saw it necessary that since there is no deficit anymore in the budget, and we were able to have raised over $17 million to cover up the deficit, it is only good for us to go back and replace the money that was deducted from education and health. And one thing we saw in the budget, in the recast budget, that is very necessary for the country is the issue of paying attention to the disaster across the country. Like we saw right before the MCC the other day, it is embarrassing that across the country that our people are facing challenges to issue of disaster, whether fraud or whatsoever. And the legislature is working to address that, as in the reclass budget. There's some reallocation towards that. I think the issue of the
So
budget, the
listen,
budget is a
I'm
very
sorry,
good thing.
listen, not to
Right?
interrupt you,
And
not to interrupt you, but quickly, Peabody, and you can correct me here. I don't think we are discussing the entire budget in its totality, but I think there was a specific question regarding a portion of the budget that you asked regarding the. I think you mentioned of miscellaneous or something else. Can we address that instead of having to, because we are not from the finance background here, we don't want to kind of bring bring that out of discuss it.
most of thing when the budget is crafted, there is a portion called miscellaneous, and it is done. There are possibilities of natural disasters, right? So in order to wait to do a recast in the budget, the government will go into that miscellaneous budget to be able to make some interventions. But I don't think having a miscellaneous in the budget, because we have a legislature with knowledgeable people, and we have opposition lawmakers from the CDC. There are more than 20 in the lower house. There are more than 10 in the upper house. So they know what they're doing. So nobody should tell you that the government plays a miscellaneous in the budget that cannot be explained. So we should be able to ask the critical opposition that are there what you are doing. Why you cannot explain to the public what this miscellaneous is for.
Okay, now, but you're in the UP. Why you can't explain it though? Why can't you explain it?
No, to explain what the budget,
So
was placed before the legislature.
Why? Right? Why a budget that was passed? A budget was passed in May. You had all the experts that went over it. Everything was fine. The Senate to the House. The House said, yeah, everything was fine. The Senate to the Senate, everything was fine. So, and you're approved. So why is it that you're coming back down and you said that this was not correct? There was some expenditure, additional expenditure. There was money for what? There was some flood somewhere outside the country. I mean,
no, I didn't say that. I said the issue of the recast was on the basis of the deficit that was reported by the LRA. There was some portion of the revenue component that was not raised, right? But when the recast budget was submitted before the Senate, the legislature in totality, they were able to have maneuvered their way to raise some funds. Like for instance, LPRC, they went to LPRC and got over 5 for LPRC. They got over $1.5 million for LTE. They got another 1 million plus from Maritime in order to come up with the form that is reported to be a deficit in the revenue component of the country. So the recast was necessary because we are almost in the fourth quarter of the budget. So if you can't raise the money to meet up with the...
So listen, I don't think our concern here is the recast. The recast aspect of it, we understand that. The key
I think your issue is the miscellaneous.
Well, okay. Then here's what I want. I want you to again address and be concise with the issue of the miscellaneous, because I'm assuming that you having to represent the laws office, you were opportune to be a part of the revision process. The budget was given to the senator's office, and you having to have been a part of that office. You were opportune to review it, and you did due diligence by asking yourself, where are these funds? Where would these funds be applied? Where are they applicable? What as miscellaneous? Why it is true that miscellaneous can cover several other things, but there must be breakdown as to what specific items that some of those miscellaneous could be considered in the process of funding. So I'm pretty sure that the loans office was up. You were fortunate to be a part of the process. Give us some breakdown as to how this allocation was done. That's why we actually did it. The entire deficit going back and forth. That is not measure our concern. We'll get into that aspect later, but let's focus on the miscellaneous aspect.
So let's make some corrections here. First, I want to be very clear, right? Senator DeLong's office is not the Ministry of Finance.
No.
So don't attach the discussion solely to the office of Senator DeLong. Yeah, I'm here in my capacity as an individual and proponent of the regime, not from representing the office of Senator DeLong. Let's get that clear. And secondly, I want you to be specific. Yeah, so I want you to be specific. When we are discussing miscellaneous, right? Under which budget that you have 3 million or 4 million miscellaneous in the budget? Under which budget?
Unexplained miscellaneous.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
No, the public is assuming that we are having an unexplained miscellaneous, right? Where, how, under which budget? Is it a recast budget?
Have you seen the budget?
Or is it
apparently you haven't seen the budget.
No, but since you have seen it, I want us to be clear. Where, which budget? Let's be specific. Is it under the recast budget, or it is in the standard budget?
In the recap budget.
Yeah. Because there is no such thing under the recast budget. I have the recast budget in my phone, and we can display and go through it. There is no such thing in the recast budget. So we have $3+ million as miscellaneous. We can go through it, and I don't think we should have issue of the government having miscellaneous in the budget. These are necessary because, for instance, you have a disaster somewhere, and the disaster management agency is not capacitated. They don't have the necessary fundings to make interventions. That's why you go in the miscellaneous, take some funds, and go and make interventions. Right? It is necessary. This is a normal that's practice across the world. You must have a miscellaneous in the budget.
Across the world,
yeah.
Which part of the world are you talking about?
Across the world, there is no budgeting without having miscellaneous. No, it is a standardized practice now. Ask any financial expert, they will tell you.
Well, let me go. Let me go to Grace, and I'll come back to you.
So I also overheard Lofa talking about the issue of the Senate Guar 800,000 for their special sitting, the lower house Guar 1 million. So what happens normally?
Dr. Peabody said that I'm here to speak to that.
Okay, Dr. Peabody, sorry. Mm-hmm. So what normally happens is that whenever a special sitting is called, the entire legislature is paid in full. For instance, you have over 600 personal staff at the level of the state, and you have over 1,000 plus central administration staffs. So each of them are paid their full benefits, salary, including gasoline and whatsoever. So if you do the mathematics, 800,000, maybe little for 1 month benefits and salary for the staffers at the level of the Senate, and also at the level of the lower house. So probably that is why the legislature budget left from $53 million to go up to $57 million.
Grace, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. My name is Grace Guar. So I'm here tonight on the closing argument. If you're on here, can you please share the link for us in the different platforms and in Messenger so other people can have the privilege to be on here? And I would like to welcome Lasana Conan to the platform. This is my first time meeting you. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. I really the part of the whole explanation of the budget, I don't understand it. I'm still fighting to understand. You're going back and forth because my only thing is that the process, that's what I pay attention to. So for the process of the budget, once there's a deficit in the budget, the executive cannot make any changes. It has to be sent back to the House of Representatives for them to make the changes and approve the changes that they have made. So far, we are seeing the budget process has been fraudulent, and we are very disappointed with the UP government. And to me, the budget that is being passed is invalid for the country. The Liberian people should be very angry right now because there was too much of back and forth concerning the budget. One of the back and forth was that they started to add money to the budget that was already set. And although these things happen, but you have to go through the right process. And then also when it went back to the House of Representatives to approve it, they did not allow the representative to vote individually. They rather said yay and nay, and they just passed the budget. That too is fraudulent. This government is a roguish government, and I stand on my word. I mean what I said. They are not proceeding well. What they're doing to the Liberian people is very bad. The Liberian people should be very upset right now and getting into the streets and even demonstrating because of this budget. The budget was cast in a way and passed in a way that is not right. And when it comes to the policies and the Constitution, so it's not supposed to be that way. I'm very disappointed in President Bwaka because I really thought the people felt they needed him to be there, and I thought that maybe he would know better. So there where I am with this whole budget thing. So, the whole process is just fraudulent to me.
Well, for me, I think you have the right to express your dissatisfaction. But almost everything you said, the issue of the budget being fraudulent, the passage of the budget, you cannot blame the executive for that. You have a legislature that is independent, right? For interference from the executive. They exercise their functions and responsibility. That is why it is squarely placed in the Constitution that we have a 3 coordinated but separate branches of government. So if the lower house voted the way they voted, you can't blame President Bwaka for that. If the Senate voted the budget the way they did, you can't blame them for that. You blame your individual lawmakers that voted the budget because we believe these are knowledgeable people and they understand what they are doing and they understand what the Liberian people and what they should get. And that is why they voted for the budget, because the budget is squarely in the interest of the country. So you can't blame President Bwaka for that. And you say budget is fraudulent. I doubt that you have gone through the budget properly. Probably, maybe if you have done that, you wouldn't really run on that budget.
No, but you cannot assume that I never went through it because we all see that nobody's stupid here. The budget.
No, because I'm saying that because if you went through it, you wouldn't just conclude like that, say the budget is fraudulent.
I did go through
because a budget. Listen, let me. Can
I ask a question? Is Lasana a guest? Are we interviewing him? Is he a guest or guest panelist?
He's not a guest, as far as I know. He's a
guest panelist, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
So like Chris, Lasana, you're not a guest yet. You know. Right. Anyway, congratulations on your graduation, by the way. I know you've been trying to get.
Thank you, Chairman.
I owe you. So we'll talk about that offline. But let Grace continue. You gotta respond to. I know you want to defend your government, but you gotta respond to everybody. Let her finish her thought. We'll go around the horn. Myself got some questions got some comments that I want to bring up, and then you can counter. That's just kind of like I just thought to kind of set that precedent because it seems like we're interviewing you right now, and I don't want you to feel like you're being attacked or you're
right, Chairman. You're right. But I thought probably she landed, so I thought of coming.
Oh, okay. I think Why was it once she landed that you have been somebody else, another panelist, right? So that's why.
Okay, so let me just in quickly. Money was added to this budget in different areas. After the budget had already gone to the executive, what money was added to the budget, that particular act is fraudulent as well. They added the compensation to people working with government, $3,137 million. It was $298 million. Now it's $301 million. So this budget money will be added and for different areas, put to different areas. That's not how a country do a budget. So if you're telling me that you can't blame Joseph Bwaka, who am I going to blame? I'm going to blame the entire government. So you can't say because the representatives then were forced to vote the way they voted because the head was not able to lead them. Fanatic profile stood up there and made excuses why the budget passed because they all had hand in the different allotments of the money that would get within the budget so they can take it. Everybody, like when people already know what's going on with the government, that's the reason why they voted the way they voted because they thought it was CDC government. The UP government were going to do better. And they did not, the UP government so far in the first 9 months have not done anything better, but they even stealing more than the CDC government, the thing that CDC government did. And the reason why I say that is the first 9 months, the money they already, the amount of money they already owe for the first 9 months, if you check it from up to 5 years, if you continue to owe money like that, the government, it means that they will owe more money than government and any government ever owe. So that's what we are saying. When the head is rotting, everything else will be rotting. We all know that. The president in Liberia is seen as a king. So we definitely will always go back and blame the executive branch of government, because it seems as though the executive branch of government rule the country. They tell the legislature what to do because they hold their benefits and say they will not release it until they be able to pass the budget before they release their benefits. So then they give people no option, which I don't think they should do that, because I would stand my ground if I was there. But they gave them no option but to just go for the budget because they want the money to do things in a different district. So that's what we're just saying here. This government is a government so far. Until they can change their way, I will continue to say that.
Grace, if you allow me, please, Dr. Peabody, let me just kind of chime in on that particular statement you just made, right? Lasana, I want to believe that one thing you probably miss here is the understanding that, so guys, we have a feedback. Somebody get another device on or something like that.
I think it's Lasana. Lasana, you want to mute yourself?
Yeah, I think we all should mute when we're not speaking.
Okay, so I think what you're missing here is the reality that the budget resonates from the executive. Okay, for you to say, oh, the distance from the budget, the other branches of government should have done that. It was intended. They knew exactly what they wanted to get done, and that is why they put in whatever amount for whatever reason, and then have it sent to the other branches of government in order for them to make sure that it is passed. So you cannot take President Boycott from this. He's a part of it. As a matter of fact, he's the brain behind the corrupt practices. I'll stop at that point, and I'll go further when I'm opportune to speak later.
Is it me now? Peabody?
Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was checking my work email. So it's good to see my little brother Lasana here. I think you probably are gonna be having one of the most difficult jobs for the next couple of, how long you intend to be a guest panelist here. I think this government is look, first of all, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. I think we consistently said over and over that the Unity Party did not represent change. They did not represent the change that the people were yearning for. I think people got all caught up in the notion that they wanted to replace George Weah at all costs. So this notion of anybody but Weah came into play. Now, when we talk about the national budget, I think I agree with what Lofa said. Look, I'm in full support. And let me state for the record, I'm in full support of the national legislature passing the budget. This is the first year. This is the first budget of this president, right? The Liberian people voted for this president. This man has not even been president for 1 year. He has not even been president for 1 year. He's been president for 9 months. The Liberian people voted. Elections have consequences, right? The Liberian people voted for this government. This budget reflects Joseph Boakai's presidency's priorities. That's what it does. So I think when people vote for something, you should give them what they vote for. The Liberian people, at least a tiny percentage, a tiny majority of the voting population, decided that this is the change they wanted. So my argument is, I support in fact, full-fledged, I think the initial budget that was submitted by the executive to the legislature is not even the budget that was passed. The legislature actually went in there and made some changes. You can go line by line. There are changes. Today I was listening to in fact, by the way, I did some of the research myself, but just to give him some credit, Julius Jed, he was talking about some of the line items that was originally proposed and that the executive reduced. Drug Enforcement Agency, they slashed money from there. This other place, healthcare, LACE, Liberia Agency for Community Engagement, Empowerment, they slashed it. Where did they increase the budget? The Ministry of Presidential Affairs, the President's Office, National Security Agency. Again, I support the passage of this budget. Not because I want the country to fail, no, but I want for President Boakai to be giving the benefit of the doubt to run his first budget. This is what the Liberian people voted for. I think the Senate and the House of Representatives, if they have passed it, I think there was a recast. They were debating. I don't know. Maybe Lasana works in the Senate. He should be able to tell us if that budget has been passed or not. I think they were supposed to do a conference committee. But I think this clearly shows where the president's priority lies. This president came into power. The first thing he did was to take a drug test. We haven't heard anything else about the fight on drugs. We saw today that $3 to $4 million was slashed from the drug enforcement budget, which is, oh, by the way, not even enough. Right? So it clearly shows where the priority. Clearly show where the priorities. Thank you, Lofa. Where the priorities lie, and I think Liberians must understand this is what they pay. This is what they got. This is what they bargained for. So I don't think there is a conflict here, right? I don't think there is a conflict here. I will say this. Let's go through this process now. Where I am going to hold the legislature, and I will end on this for Robert to come in. Where I am going to hold this legislature is on the oversight. Wherever money now that they have allocated and they have given to these different agencies, they must now carry out the respective oversight on these agencies. They must demand a budget performance report. By the way, I think the committee in the Senate headed by Senator Amara Kone has done a great job in their first report when it came to the issue of budget alteration, right? So let's see what kind of oversight they will be carrying out. But in the end, I think the Liberian people, let the president get his budget, let the Liberian people see where this president priority lies, and let them go ahead and let's begin the process of governing the country. For the first 9 months, there had just been a back and forth. Let the country now run on the budget that they have. This is what Joe Boakai campaigned on. I think he should be given the opportunity to be able to run his government.
Before Boakai explain your faith very dry. So you're telling the Liberian people that they will get the budget business.
Exactly.
That's not what I said.
It's time for you to.
That's not what I said.
I disagree with Ben. Yes, I disagree with Ben.
That is not what I said.
What did you say?
Let me repeat what I said. The budget that President Joe Boakai presented to the national legislature represents his priorities. The Liberian people, the Liberian people went and voted for President Joe Boakai. They knew this was the priority. Everything Joe Boakai put in that budget is what he campaigned on. The Liberian people saw that and they agreed. You may not have agreed, but a vast majority of the people, that's why he's president. I'm not saying leave it. I have said, as you pass it, now you go ahead and you do your oversight.
And Ben, my problem how you, Ben, is that I think we had a debate behind the scene over the weekend, is that you should not put the blame on Boakai alone. That's my problem I got.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I repeat, I repeat. Let me state for the record. The budget is the president's budget.
Yes, but the budget appropriations are made by whom?
What do you mean appropriations are made by whom?
Who made the appropriations in the budget?
The president sent his budget.
Who made the appropriation in the budget?
George, all of the arrangements, all of the shifting that was done. In fact, point of correction, right? Yeah. In fact, I repeat, the first budget that was sent to the national legislature, the national legislature actually up some of the money for education, for health. Go back and do your research.
My concern is who makes the appropriation in the budget?
Both the executive and the legislature. But the legislature
on the president alone, when they all should be involved.
This is the president's budget. He's going to execute this budget.
They hold the purse of the power of the purse, Ben.
George.
Okay.
And let me end on this note for everybody else to come in, right? George, I will repeat what you said. Your argument in the back to me was that we should shut the government down. First of all, I think that's irrational. You know why I think that's irrational? Let me tell you why that's irrational. The legislature cannot shut the government down because guess what's going to happen? Politics will come into play. You know how everything ties onto the Liberian government. If the Liberian people are serious and they want the government to shut down, let them demand that the government should be shut down. Let them go to the
So then
national
why the voter
and call for the
representative in
thing to be shut down.
So let me come
So
in.
if I can
Let
understand
Robert
from
come
here.
in now. Let Robert. Robert have
Let me
not
come in for a
spoken. Let
second.
Robert come in.
So no, let me come in, please.
Let Robert come in.
So I do slightly disagree with Ben on a few things. One, the manner in which the budget was passed, from our perspective, I don't think that it should have been passed the way it was passed. And I concur with Representative Musa Ability. The way it was passed should not have been passed. Two, you said that there's no conflict. There is conflict. Let's not forget, even though you and I are not shocked about what's happening, but this government ran and promised the Liberian people that they will be rescued on grounds of massive corruption that they said, according to them, CDC government were doing. They said that they will come and rescue the Liberian people, provide jobs. The budget would have reflected the people's interests and all of these things. So there's conflict here. Now, you and I didn't believe it, but the fact of the matter is they ran on these rhetoric that they would do things differently. Now, it's one thing for us to not believe them, but they ran on these promises. So they lied then, right? And so when we're seeing the conflict in the budget, where you talked about the reduction on all of these key areas, but yet instead the increase in the budget when it comes to the executive mansion and all of the different entities, there's a conflict. Yeah, obviously there's a conflict with regards to what they campaign on and the reality of what we both expected of them, right? But there's still a conflict here, right? Now, when they talked about unexplained expenditure, now, Ben, you and I would agree that if the national budget, and I stand corrected because I'm not a budget guy, I try not to dive into areas that I don't understand, but we both can agree here that if the government needed to spend money, and if the operations and the doors of the government needed to remain open, why did the legislature not pass a special budget? Why? Why would you spend from January to August knowing fully well that the budget have not been passed? When you have unexplained spending done, this is grounds for corruption, because the legislature allocates and approves all government spending, right? And so you are spending all this money, the budget have not been passed, but no one have asked, why did the government, including the legislative branch of government, not put forth a special budget to spend? It happens in this country. When government were threatened to be shut down in this country, and lawmakers did not want that, did not want thousands of folks to be unemployed, bills not paid, they put forth a special spending budget, be it for 1 month, 2 months. They did that while we all sat and wait for the national budget to be passed. But in Liberia, it's done differently. Who is overseeing these off budget expensive here? They're talking about national security. And because they understand that these entities do not have to be audited, and so we would not know exactly how these monies are spent, someone comes and says, well, that amount was spent on national security when it was not allocated for national security. And so the government should have been shut down. If the legislature are not passing a special budget, Ben, I stand correct. I'm just saying. So if the budget is not passed,
you are right.
Garguah. Washington DC we're talking about here.
No, it's not. No, but Ben, we can't have our cake and eat it too.
First of all, there's contingency. I think there's something called 1/4. There's something called 1/4. The government can run on 1/4 of the national budget without.
Okay, so 1/4 of the national budget. So who oversees that?
What do you mean who oversees it?
Who oversees? What I'm asking is that a gap? What is that?
Robert, wait, let me say something, right?
Wait, let me learn y'all come. You're the finance for y'all come. The bottom line, here's my point. The bottom line here is this. You don't spend 16, 20, 30 million dollars, right? And there's absolutely nothing There's no explanation on. There's no detailed explanation on how these funds was spent. And then the legislator come back and say, "Don't do it again." That's it. But we still don't know what $16, $17 million went, Ben. So is that what followed the budget?
For Robert,
Last point I want to make is this.
Last
point I want to make is this. And I
go ahead.
Last
Yeah,
point
but Rob, make it short. Other guy talk.
Yeah, I know. Last point I want to make is this. Ben, where I would agree with you is that this budget is a reflection of Joseph Boakar's priorities. I mean, simple as that. These guys, why does Joseph Boakar need a bulletproof car? Who wants to kill Joseph Boakar?
I don't know. He's the president.
Who wants to kill him? $500,000 on a bulletproof car that'll be driven in Monrovia, and you don't even have the roads for it? Who want to kill Jeremiah Cohn? But you know what? This is what these guys want.
How you know nobody won't get in? How you know that now?
Anyone that was supposed to be killed would have been Ellen Johnson.
But I'm asking, how do you know there's not a threat?
Get access to intelligence.
How do you know that there's not a threat?
So you're justifying the fact that, but guess what? These were the same guy questioning what George Weah got $150,000 escalate from. You see, but again, this is what they voted for. And I'm glad that they are rescuing the country. Let them continue to rescue. I'm enjoying the kind of rescue that they'll rescue. Let them continue to do this. By the end of the day, the legislature has a part to play in this mess. And let Representative Bealded say, until we change the face and the minds of the legislature, we will continue to be in this circle that we find ourselves.
Robert, just before Lasana come on, there's another allocation in this budget. $2.5 million for covert operation through the national. What covert operation?
The NSA, you can't explain it. The NSA.
Because they can't explain it. It's national security. That's corruption. It's for a corruption ban. Wait.
Why you beating up on me? Why are you beating up on me? This is how your government has been ran.
You sound like you're supporting it, Ben. You sound like a
I sound like I'm supporting what? I'm telling you. I am telling you the reason I'm saying this is because this from since we couldn't Gene or Hall, NSA don't explain their finances. They don't. Yeah, you actually when the president came to office, he said you are going to audit NSA. He decommissioned the audit. He did.
Or he can authorize one.
So here, I think from my understanding here, this is what Ben is saying, and I hope I am right that Ben is not simply trying to support. Ben is not simply trying to support the bad governance here. I think Ben, in other words, is saying, tough love. This is what the child, as parents, when you warn your child, don't get out there and do bad things, and that child purposely ignore your recommendation. When they are caught in the act, let them experience the pressure or the pain. Then when you talk to them again, they will realize it. But here's my point though. At what point in time do we realize that we must hold people accountable? Why it is true that Liberians voted the way they voted. At what point in time do we start to hold these corrupt government officials accountable for the consistent stealing? There is no way to even call this corruption. Consistently, they're stealing from the people. At what point in time do we start?
So that's
not coming.
So I think when I see people on the show here venting against the government, it's a good thing. But I think we should be very careful as to how we do so, right? A lot of things like Robert was saying, first before the budget was submitted to the national legislature, we had a budget finance, a special budget, which is by law, under the PFN law, that was full of the budget when the fiscal year begins and the fiscal budget has not been submitted before the legislature. The government has the authority to submit a special budget on full of the budget, or the previous budget, or full of the previous budget should be submitted to the legislature to pass it for the government to operate. That was done. It was in the tune of $43 million. And that amount was included in the overall fiscal budget. and the fiscal budget was passed and approved by the government. So to say who supersedes or who supervises the budget, of course the budget is implemented by the executive, and the reappropriation are done by the legislature, and also they have the oversight responsibility over the legislature. Like everyone will say, the budget that was submitted to the legislature is a reflection of President Bokai's arrest agenda, and it is implemented. I mean, it is vested in our budget. If you go through that budget, for instance, education, we had the University of Liberia. The previous budget under President Weah was $25 million. President Boakai pushed the budget of University of Liberia to $33 million. That is a significant improvement and a step towards improving education in the country. Right? Let's look ahead. Right? So you go through the budget. These are not fallacies. We have the budget, you have access to the budget. The previous government budgeted $25 million, which was the highest ever in the history.
We're not talking about the previous government.
$25 million.
We're talking about how fraudulently.
Listen.
Money was added there fraudulently, and not for the interest of the people. That's
we keep to do better than we are. That's why.
And you're not doing that.
Necessary to increase the budget. So if you think $33 million is not the interest of the people, then you should be able to make recommendations. Maybe we should do half of the budget to be shifted towards education, right? I think that would be in the interest of the people. But I think that $33 million for the University of Liberia alone was necessary. And across the country, you have
stop jumping.
Right?
They could have increased the University of Liberia the allocation. They didn't do that, but rather put in fraudulent amount to fraudulent
No.
That is not going to benefit Liberian people.
There is no fraudulent. You have to wait for the fiscal budget.
There's one thing you're doing to the Liberian people that will come a time.
So I think we should have current year. We should have the current year. So let's
we do.
So give me the chance. Let me go through. Then you will come back.
But you're talking too long. When the thing you're talking, no, we're not going to accept that.
Yeah, I know you're not.
Let him finish. I feel sorry for him.
Just to see where you're saying things that were not comfortable and they are far from the truth. I know it will always be like that.
That's not land, but I rather feel sorry for you.
We have differences of ideas.
We know you're different, but you can't say that.
Go ahead. I give you.
So I know, my Grace, I know you're angry, but you gotta calm down.
Why y'all always like to say these kind of things? But when people say they're treating like brother, y'all say they're angry. You're
so why you consider us
angry? I live a freaking good life here. I care about who people suffering.
But you have a right to be angry because this is your country now.
So you can't say I'm angry. I'm not angry. I have today. I got more food to eat. You
have the right to be angry.
Angry over you?
This is your country. You have every right to be angry. This is your country.
I will not be angry. I will not.
No, anything happens.
Look at me. Do I look angry? You see wrinkles on my face from my age?
You are very beautiful.
I am not.
Yes. I love your shit. You are very beautiful, by the way.
I people.
So when we are having conversation, I think we should be a bit honest to the discourse, right? This government came and inherited a mess. A system that was totally and completely broken down. You saw the previous government through the audit report revealed. You saw over $78 million, $178 million that was just disbursed on the counter at the central bank. So the government, in the heat or in the mix of all of these, serious crackdown in the system, they came and proffered a budget of over $700 million. And in that budget, we saw the Liberia National Fire Service got $3 million plus to purchase fire equipment and vehicles, trucks, to be able to mitigate fire disaster across the country. We saw the allocation of $1.5 million to organize and train over 10,000 young people across the country in different fields of information technology. These things were done to be able to achieve the arrest agenda. And we saw the government, in terms of agriculture, they were able to launch the National Agriculture Agenda Plan, right? That was done. And we saw, you can be, impressed by what the DEA is doing, but the DEA is doing significantly well, right? They are doing significantly well. To fight drugs in anywhere or in any country is not a small thing. Because the first thing is you have to prevent the trafficking of drugs before you can move forward with the rehabilitation of the people. And that is why the LDEA is very concerned with. Over the period of 2 months, the worth of drugs have been arrested by the LDEA is over $2 million United States dollars. It is scary. But we have to do this gradually. It is not a 1-year thing. This government has a mandate of 6 years. We have to give the government the time. We just in 9 months, right? Let's look at education. Education. We have over 300 teachers that were just, volunteer teachers, but the government placed over $1 million in the budget for them to pay the arrears of those volunteer teachers, train them, and be able to fully employ majority of them. That was done because we thought, as a government, that it is very important to focus on the foundational issues. If you want for education to be improved in this country, we must first begin from the grassroots level. We have to build the foundation of the young people at the kindergarten, in the elementary, in high school, junior high, before coming to the level of the university. And the president is doing significant work in terms of that. So we just talk about transparency and accountability. When President Barker's government just issued a rate of arrest for 3 or 4 previous officials of the government, a lot of you on the show here said that was a witch hunt. But you're not looking at the implication of their actions on the country, what they have done to the country, what they stole from the FIU and other institutions across the country. You were not looking at that, but you were only looking at what you call political witch hunt. That was not a political witch hunt because the audit was conducted by the previous government. President Barker came and met that audit report, and that testament to others. That was a fight against corruption and a step towards transparency and accountability. But
you not talking about where is Samuel 12? See him pressing now?
But Samuel 12 is not in country. He has away.
The conversation not about Samuel 12. But the fact is, Asana, I mean, your government is not doing nothing new than what happened in the CDC government. Your government have not even made any difference for us to say, you know what, CDC did this and the government did that. We have not seen nothing like that. So stop bragging. The government did this, they added that, and they added this. Nothing that I'm seeing that you people have did. Look at budget. You'll pass a budget, you'll come back and finger the budget, add money that's there for corrupt practices and things like that.
Nobody added money in budget. That is not possible. How you look at a whole $20 million? Is somebody took it? It is not possible now.
Yeah, let's go. Tomalin, haven't spoken. Then we kind of Sylvester. Go ahead, Tomalin.
Yeah. Okay. Let me say this again. I disagree with my friend and brother Ben. I believe that this budget. Look, we should. He said, "Oh, it will be a problem if we shut the government down." Yeah, we got to try something in this country. Try some different things, because first of all, I saw the joke that happened on Friday in the House when they were approving the budget to pass the budget, and many people did. People, if you watch it, you won't know that. You think that everything happened on the executive branch, but when you look into the budget, you realize that $4.5 million in that budget that was passed on Friday are there for the lawmakers, for them. Okay, it is there for them. So they shouldn't. They were trying to, they're trying to push and say, "Oh, the priority on the president." No, not the president. They're all part of it. Why did you ask the question? When the president, the speaker, and the pro tem met at his home, what the meeting was about? The same budget, and that meeting was leaked to the public. So you think they're not aware of what happened, how that budget was passed, everything in that budget? They're aware. But my problem, guys, is that don't say everything you put on JB. No. JB run over here. We're not running the government. The legislature, our constitution says that we have 3 branches of government. The legislature is the first branch of government. You have the power of the purse. It makes the appropriation in the budget. So if they claim that the executive cut down, you should have said, no, we're going to put the money back in education, put it back in health. And the money you put it on the Ministry of State, on NSA, we'll take it from there. We're putting it back to the priorities era. They didn't do it. Then you say, oh, the executive branch that the one that work out budgets, we should support it. No. If they were in the interest of the Liberian people, they would have said, oh no, President Baga, you're not going to take money from education, from health, from agriculture and put it to NSA and to the Ministry of State. You will say, no, we're not going to approve this budget if we cannot put the money back in the priority era. They didn't do it, but they said they cut it. So everybody took their share. The king was not understanding. Okay, if we cut this, cut that, okay, this will happen. This will happen for us. Come on, people. That'll be real. Let us be real. You can't come and just say everything is the executive branch. No. The 2 branches that are held in this budget, the legislature and the executive, they know what happened. They're aware of it. That's why I said I disagree with them. Okay? They know what happened. And you can see it. The $4.7 million that in our budget for them, they're gonna. In fact, I just learned before I came on the show. They have started getting their new cars. Yeah, they're getting them $45,000 for their cars. They already start getting it. So you think they were they're gonna let it slide. No. Once you get brand new cars, where you myself in America, you will pay the car. No, you tired. You will pay tired. They're gonna get that brand new car. And
what do you can compare? You can say
that some of them, some of them allowed to come to travel. You see them on the auction ground, looking for cars there, auction car, they carry on the ship, duty free. The car, next thing you see it, REP or SEN on the cars. You can come to the auction here, that money, you can get some of the nice 2023, 2022 or BMW or some SUV from here, and you got maybe that one that either or repossessed for someone or just had accident, you can fix it nicely. You got a brand new car. Brand new car you got. You ride down on the streets of Monrovia. So look, let us not put the blame on the executive alone. Let's just share the blame. They are there for the interest of the Liberian people. They should have protected the people's interest. But as I said, they betrayed the public interest. Compromise with the executive and came out with that budget. So yeah, that's why I would say the budget is ugly. I support what Musa said. It's true. This complete joke with that budget. They're all for their own interest, not for say only executive branch. So everybody got a share for that budget.
Yep. All right. Sylvester just came in. That gives Sylvester a chance to talk, and then we'll go back to Lofa. So.
Yeah. Thank you. Tomalin, let me just come with this information quickly. Where you concluded from. There's no room to buy a new car as per the laws, the regulations. They have to be a brand new vehicle. The government, there's no government money that should go after a new car. There's a direct, clear policy there for many, many years. So no one's going to get a new car. It have to be a brand new vehicle.
But the money, they're getting the cash in the hand, huh? So what?
You have the cash. You want to go for the spec of vehicle, but you have to be a brand new vehicle.
And then after 3 years,
after 3 years, it reached the depreciation.
That paper, after 3 years, again, another 45,000.
After 3 years, it's downgraded, depreciated.
It's a total waste of money. A new car should be valid for 10 years, not 3 years. 3 years, you get about a new car.
Thank you.
Waste of people's money.
Exactly. So
why people in the country can't even find food to eat? Can you imagine how wicked these people are? These people are wicked set of people.
That is the basic of that. I just thought to say that quickly. Yeah. I listened to my dear brother, but he left. I think he's off a little bit of maybe his tone. He tried to give reference to the budget process very well. And he was just quoting numbers. We are trying to chronologically go through the budget process. I want to believe himself got some problem understanding the budget. But he's coming to do a public relation here. He just naming need without understanding line items. Now, the budget will have to change from one perspective to the next. The budget is meant for poverty reduction. How he talked about the University of Liberia going from 20-something to 30-something. telling us which line was increased, the line after increase and what it meant to do.
Why?
Let me remind him quickly that the University Faculty Association, even threatening to boycott teaching process at the University of Liberia because OFA believe that their pay is low. Now, if the budget of the university increase, why are those positive aspects going to reflect on the University of Liberia first and foremost? The professors are now and lecturers are now threatening to drop chalks and disengage academic activities. If the budget increase, did that incentivize a professor process also? Now, we'll be having a lot of issues, a laundry of issues affecting the University of Liberia, basically. Ever since even before we left from the university or even we went to the university, those things being unfolding at the university campus. The issue about transportation for students, to commute students to the federal campus. There have been huge problems about fuel and lubrications process in the budget. Now, did the budget also reflect increment in those areas? That's how you talk about an increase from this number to that number. But you did not systematically pinpoint those areas of the budget that reflected the changes and are going to impact the University of Liberia, if you will. Now, when the Weah administration increased the budget at the time, there were a lot of things the Weah administration will focus on. Now, they systematically focus on the process about now stopping tuitions at the University of Liberia. And what they did, they tried to push some money in that will help augment the process about the money students pay for tuitions and fees at the time. What the Weah administration also did, they went ahead to digitize the University of Liberia through the entire iron-drop process. When we were at the University of Liberia, we used to take like weeks to carry on the process of iron-drop and registration. Now the Weah administration brought about a new digital system in the University of Liberia or on the University of Liberia campus in that issue. And the Weah administration also, at the time the Indian government gave those buses, they provided some level of transportation to the university. Few of those buses were given to ease transportation process of commuting students from the main campus on Capitol Hill to the Fenner's campus. And then there was some discussion about the Sinjay campus also in Grand Kitman County. So you didn't mention those areas, but changes in the budget process, right? So to just say the budget changed from this number to this number without giving explanation as to how that happened, there's no explanation here whatsoever. Now, the basic of education you talk about, the entire education structure, well, about teachers and what have you, we still got enormous problem in the various area. For instance, Bapol, there's an area in Bapol called Bayama. Students are still sitting on blocks. So if there was an increment in the education in the education budget, I thought it will address the issue about armchairs. It will address the issue about enhancing the capacity of giving a better ambience to the students so to learn and push all online. So I just thought to bring that to your attention. So when you come on a show where you're meeting different set of professionals that are inclined about happenings of the government of Liberia, you have to be a little mindful as to how you want to engage it. You don't be clear that you come in to preach on the product line. I thought to provide those clarifications. So there's no impact on the budget to the people aspect what you as per your description.
I think probably you got it wrong, right?
No, yeah, I just thought to provide it. You didn't explain. I wanted you to explain some of those things. Yeah, right. So I just so maybe you have the opportunity to come back and make some clarification. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about quickly is our budget system in the country. And I'm one person that said the last time, and what part of the reason why certain lawmakers in our country got sanctioned by the U.S. government, and there's going to be more trouble coming to the budget process. We have to be more or less very transparent when it comes to the budget. I have observed in the history of our country that people want to use their influence. That have a lot of some lawmakers got personally very rich in the country. The budget system will have to be open. And I think the people will have to take this and move and try to push online to protect this issue of the budget. The budget is not only, now the executive is the one that prepared the budget and submit the budget to the lawmakers. But the lawmakers themselves got a lot of power in terms of working around the budget system. And that's why. And Article 34 of the Constitution gives the power to the lawmakers to do those things. And what they do in many instances, they threaten the executive. If we don't have our will, we're not going to do this. We're not going to pass the budget the way you want this to happen. And in many instances, as someone was suggesting about government shutdown, it's not the way the situation unfolds here in the U.S. Like, for instance, the U.S. threatening now, the speaker just said by Friday next week they will pass the budget, they will not shut the government down. It do happen here, but it's difficult to happen in the country because we do have an amount of 1/12. You're saying 1/4, not 1/4, it's 1/12. 1/12 of the budget of the previous budget can be allowed to be used until the budget process is handled, while the lawmakers and the executive handle those things. In that 1/12, but you can't go above 1/12 until the budget is finally passed, right? But beyond those things, we can put some critical need where we need to put things into place and agree with them. For instance, the lawmakers, the money they're coming to collect, now they started getting the vehicles already. Beyond that amount of money, there's other money they're chunking somewhere in the budget for themselves. Now, the executive is not going to ask that question because the executive themselves actually will have to, they need certain project to carry out. So it will be difficult for us to do that quickly. Robert, I'll disagree with you a little bit on this one. And it's obvious. The war is over. There's nowhere, Robert. I'm doing security training now in school and what have you. So I will bring that perspective. The risk assessment in the West African belt is high for every African president. There's a risk assessment done. There's nowhere in Africa now you'll see an African president that will go around or war leader that wouldn't drive a bulletproof vehicle. I mean, it's just obvious. That's the president of the republic. For me, on that line, I agree that they can go. You don't have to go for an extraordinary custom build. We have some. It's not going to be around 500,000 for the set because the president vehicle is always going to be two sets of 4 vehicles. That's it. 2 sets. It's always a pair, right? So the vice president is seen. 2 are going to be a pair of that. I would agree that the president and the vice president do carry a bulletproof vehicle. That is obvious. That we can find made for our country. That's a country, Robert. That's the Republic of Liberia, right?
So let Lofa comment.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Let me ask you a question quickly, Lofa, please. I wanted to ask you quickly, is there any way you can explain to us, since you've been working in this like government, how is it that which law was passed concerning these lawmakers getting $45,000 brand new car every I said 2 years or 3 years, and who government that law will pass through? Because is there any way that they can change that law, since the country is a poor country and the people are suffering in the country, and that money could be allotted in other ways? At least they can get a $30,000 or $25,000 car and they take that money and put it in other places for the country and the people in the country to benefit.
Okay, yeah. So there's no law already, Grace, that is on the book that they passed. But the lawmaker themselves, it started from the Charles Taylor administration. I'm not inclined to really give you the story in the Doe administration. Basically, no, I'm not. But the Taylor administration started that. And then the Judy Bryant administration was also the NPRAG government also did when they brought this, when you heard the news about the Grand Cherokee Jeeps. When the Grand Cherokee came at the time, they allotted some money. So what they do is that they allot money in the budget for themselves. So, and they decide as to how to win, but they are the lawmakers, and that's the process here. They make the law, so they will allot the money. So it started actually after the Judy Bryant administration. It started happening actually during the Madam Salif days. Madam Salif was the first president that went against it, but it didn't work for her because they told her, if you go against this, everything you put in the budget for development will not pass it. So she had to agree with them and have the thing started. There was a time she came in the US and she even said she didn't give it to them, they took it, right? And then that was a very big news and they got mad with her on that. So every budget period, they will put the money in the budget for themselves for that. They put the money in the budget for themselves. Now, there was a time the money was any more. Some of them were putting up the money of almost 55 to 60,000. It was then, I think Amara Conan, as Minister of Finance, said, no, this money was too much for one person to buy a vehicle. So that's the time the government, they pass a law now. Now, there's a regulation in the government that no one will buy, no government official across the entire government will buy a vehicle more than $45,000. That's how they set the ceiling now to $45,000. But yeah, every budget period they put that there. And it's wrong, actually. And this will be for 3 years. Brand new vehicle for 3 years. Every budget period, you put that there for that amount, which is $45,000. Here's what some of them would do. Some of them would take the $45,000 and go for a vehicle worth, some of them, $25,000 to $30,000, or some of them that got money. They would take the $45,000, put it down, and then add a little money on it and buy. So, for instance, people like Edwin Snow, normally Edwin Snow would buy a vehicle worth $65,000, $70,000. He would add. Those that got more money would add the money now and procure the vehicle from elsewhere and from the round $60,000, $70,000 vehicle. But yeah, they put it in every budget period. After 3 years, every 3 years, they put that money in the budget for themselves. But for the executive, it's the president that presides over that process. The president say there's going to be no new vehicle this year. There's going to be no new vehicle. But now you see, they violated that rule for the commerce minister to be running a vehicle worth almost $90,000. $90,000. Very unfortunate.
So in that regards, Pewee, here's what I frown on often when you speak to these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pewee, not everything that is constitutional is ethical or moral. And let's look at it from that perspective. Let's be realistic here, considering the country that we're from, the country that today you and I can look at and say the referral hospital, JFK, lacks medication. If we are to speak of other referral hospitals in the country, are we logically spending like we're supposed to? Won't you consider that a form of wasteful spending? You look at an individual and you give him $45,000 to purchase what? And for what purpose? What impact are they sincerely making? Let's forget about that part of it, right? Let's talk about what you spoke of earlier. You said the president. The president being the president because of security risks around Africa. So it's okay for him to drive around in a bulletproof vehicle. For Christ in heaven's sake. Logically speaking, can you tell me today, Pewee, that anybody in Liberia want to bother President Barkai or hurt him? I dare and I challenge anybody on this platform to tell me whether this man who drove around in a 1997 Toyota something to go and run campaign, nobody bothered him. Right?
No, Raul.
No, on the serious note, nobody bothered this man. He stood in the public. Matter of fact, he stood on the back of a vehicle that was moving. Nobody bothered him and thought of the risks. I think we are playing with the lives of innocent people here. And I see my young brother, Lasana, out here attempting, because he's really not defending, he's attempting to defend the fraudulent activities of those who find themselves in leadership. And hopefully, as you go on, you will come to the realization that it is at your own detriment that you defend these criminals because they are taken away from you. You're supposed to benefit from quality education. When they start to take away from quality education, or they pretend to allot funds to education, but they cannot provide detail what aspect of those budgetary allocations are being made, it is at your detriment. When young people are dying from curable diseases, when referral hospitals in the country are not being provided budgetary support so that they can support the people, then it speaks to why they're not even providing what is supposed to be providing. Let's be honest to ourselves here when we talk national issue. These things, why it is true that we want to politicize it in the best interest of our political institutions so that we can come across as being, favorable. But the reality remains. The reason why this government was voted into office in the first place is because they thought that President Weah and his lives were underperforming. That is the reason why you chose the slogan, rescue. When you chose to run on that slogan, you knew there and then that there were wasteful spending taking place. There were situations of just gross disrespect for the law. There are lawbreakers whom you will refer to as lawmakers who just did not care about anything that was happening. Until today, the lives of Yeke Kolubar, Representative Musa Hassan Bealded, and other people are now standing up. But to what extent are they really going to challenge some of these budget and the programs of applying all of the budgetary allocation? It's almost, we can notice these things. So don't come here and tell us It is constitutional when we know that our people are dying. It is not constitutional for our people to die from curable diseases. When, of course, we have the funds.
Lofa, quickly, Lofa, I'm not cutting you off. Quickly, they do an amendment, and the people have to move and petition the lawmaker to amend the Constitution. But if I may be, listen, I may not like what is unfolding. Sometimes we will not catch what we want to say, right? We the people, we got the power. Move and petition them to amend the Constitution, make some changes in the Constitution.
But in order for the people to do that, I think the likes of you and other people will have to highlight these these bad practices for them to see for themselves, because that's part of the reason why you're serving this purpose.
If you highlight those things, Rob and Julius, if you highlight those things, but still the thing is the law. That's the law that governs the country. They will say that the law. That's the problem. That's the irony about it.
Let's go to
you know,
Lasana. Then we'll
it's spectacular, my brother.
But Lasana already spoke. Let me. Can I say something real quick? Doc, please.
What?
And then Lasana can come in. But to not Lofa, but to Sylvester's point, I think I understand where he's coming from with regards to the law. The law is the law, and again, it goes back to what Representative Bealded said. One person cannot. I mean, you can have a voice, but you need more than just one Musa Hassan ability, right? You need a change of legislators, right, who understand that these laws are not in favor of the people. But then to Lofa's point, I just want to buttress what he just said. As we speak, I'm not sure you guys remember, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, the under-17 Lone Star team got disqualified because 2 of the 25-man delegation were beyond the age of the tournament. It was under 17. When they went to do the MRI, they noticed that 2 of the players did not pass the MRI to be 17. The LFA then said that they were depending and trusting on information given to them by parents, right? And we're back at square one. The under 17 is now preparing for a similar tournament in, I believe in Guinea. And here's what's happening. In the entire Liberia, in the entire country does not have an MRI at 1.5 T scanner in entire Liberia. And you know what they're doing? They are taking these kids now and sending them to Guinea. The government have to spend money, okay, through the Ministry of Youth and Sports to send about 50 players to Guinea because they don't trust that all 25 will pass to do the MRI in Guinea. Here is the cost for the MRI. You can get an MRI for about $150,000 to $400,000. The most you will spend on an MRI scanner is $400,000. And here is what pisses me off. And all the law you talk about, Sylvester, we can encourage our lawmakers to change the law, but it takes leadership. The presidency is very powerful. Joseph Walker can make or break that country if he decides to, because again, everyone believes in him. The buck starts and ends with him, right? Including our crazy and our incapable lawmakers. They don't understand the kind of power they have, right? And so if you have president who came into power on the message that the previous administration were reckless when it came to spending and very insensitive, do you know how much these guys talked about George Weah flying private jet? And Lasana, I believe he was one of those. Flying private jet? Have Joseph Walker not flew private jet since he became president? Yes, until we started putting mouth on him and his hypocrisy. He stopped flying private jet, right? But how do you justify spending $1 million of poor taxpayer money when your health system is still underdeveloped? When even the very president who have health issues at his age still have to go abroad to seek medical attention. I don't know anyone in Liberia who have money who does not travel to South Africa or Ghana for serious medical checkup. People are dying in Liberia of curable illnesses. You cannot afford to spend $150,000 to $400,000 for MRI scan. You have to send children to Guinea, nearby Guinea. Every other country in the region have come and surpassed us in everything. But yet and still, we have these laws. These laws are laws because the people who pass them are beneficial of these laws. Of course, they want the law to be the law because it benefits them and only them. But the president, yeah, if Joseph Boakai was serious about change and rescuing these people, the president would have said, no, I don't need a $500,000 car. And we all on this platform know Joseph Boakai. Who want to kill Joseph Boakai? Who want to kill Joseph Boakai?
I asked the same question.
Who want to harm these people? Liberia can talk. Yes, you can protect the president. You know what? You know what I would have done? I would have invested $200,000 in beefing the security part of the EPS. Get the proper training for these guys. I would have done that. Most of them
police, the police,
$500,000.
the fire service. But look at the fire service.
Thank
That
you.
was money. Look at the amount of money they added in that fire service.
Thank
for
you.
the fire service.
And one last point I want to make before
somebody's on that fire service committee that is going to be chopping from there because they have put the friend in that position who is not even qualified to be a fire chief in that country. They're going to get some of the money on that cut. But let me ask this question.
But last time your bossman recommended the fire chief.
Yes.
Right.
Let me add on this note. Lasana.
Robert, let me ask you a quick question. Why you addressing that? You said the MRI machine costs $150,000?
$150,000 to $400,000. So the most sophisticated one will cost you about $400,000. So we don't have a single one of those in the country.
And let's talk about $45,000 a vehicle for our law. How many lawmakers do we have? Can we not afford to purchase one of those? Wow.
Yeah, and every 3 years they're spending $3 million. So again, everything is messed up. But Lasana, you talk about
topic.
Yeah, Dad. 1 second. You talk about education, right? You do know that the West Africa senior examination just came up, right? And I'm sure that you are versed with the result, right? Are you aware of that? Are you aware of that? 25,740 out of 47,000 failed English, while 31,000 out of 31,000, almost 32,000 out of 45,000 failed math.
He will blame George Weah.
You know what my brother said? I know he's not gonna like it, but you know what my brother Joe Lobo said? I was laughing at him. He said that the administration came and met those students already.
I knew it. I knew it.
But anyway, go ahead.
Papa, look, God.
Of course.
Yes,
Yeah,
so let's go ahead. Then we'll jump to the next topic.
Yeah, so I think we all want the best for the country, but we have to be honest and admit some facts here. We have a budget that is not even $1 billion. It is partially impossible that you use a budget of 700 million to solve Liberia's problems just in 1 year. It is not possible. This has to be periodic, and we have to do it sector by sector. So if we want to focus on education this year, for instance, that $33 million like our discussion, I wasn't given an opportunity to say, let me give DT account of that money. The issue you talk about instructors going on strike for their benefit or whatsoever, this has been an existing issue. And they went on strike, one for their benefit, and also the removal of President Nelson's the Nelson, right? And the president came in to intervene to resolve that issue. And the money that was allocated to the university is being implemented fully. Currently, you will not see faculties of the university having issues for as long as their benefits and other things have been addressed. And the issue of vehicles or buses for students, everything is included in our budget, right? And even renovation of the university is included in our budget, that $33 million budget, right? And you talk about Montana system. That Montana system, like you attributed it to George Weah, no, it's not true. The Montana system started 2017 when he was still president of the Republic of Liberia. That system started.
Well, but let me say this. So, guys,
right.
Let me start here with Grace.
Right.
Do you think the speaker, the president pro tem, do you think they betrayed the Liberian people?
Most definitely, Peabody. These people are betrayers. They are betrayers. Most of them came to this country. They live lives that was not. Can you mute your phone? They live lives that they couldn't afford to live here. Some of them went to Liberia as criminals. They went there. They were fortunate to get in the government, and they have not changed their ways. And it's sad that people think that we shouldn't say these things, but we have to say it. It is not fair to the poor people. The people in Liberia, they are suffering. What can we do to change? If any serious government get into power, you think they will start looking back at the government that was there before? Although this is almost a year, but still, we will have seen some things in place by now. We are not seeing nothing. The people are still fighting over budget allocation, passing the budget fraudulently within the house of the house. So it's just sad, but this is where we continue to tell our people. Come 2029, you have to see for yourself, because you cannot even summon your legislatures then right now to change all the things that are going on in that house, like the $45,000 car.
Yeah.
There is no way in a poor country like bro, one person should get $45,000 car and only use it for 2 years. Can you mute your phone?
I think I was on, right?
You what?
I think I was in flight when my internet got disrupted.
And
okay, that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead, Chris. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, they will come back to you. So it's just these people have feelings like brain people, and you would think that because women should have softer spots in their hearts because God made us different. God, that's testosterone and estrogen. So men will be, firm and stuff like that. And you will see women will be more calmer and feel sorry for the people. But a lot of these women that work in the government, they're high strong more than men. I don't understand how these people see the suffering of Liberian people and can still stand up and agree with these people to pass budget that is that kind of way and fraudulent to the Liberian people. And I don't understand how still they cannot change laws to benefit the Liberian people when it comes to taking away some of the money. The legislature didn't have too much power in the country. For some reason, they just went there. The government people can be reaching our country. Except you're a strong business person, you will not survive in Liberia. The women in our country, Jumpy Kanga, I'm very ashamed of this woman. How do you abuse? And I was saying on the open platform, I'm all for women being in power, all for women doing what they're supposed to do. But when you come in power and you start to do these kind of things, people see you differently. And I know her sorry guessing for people that will come, but I dare you, y'all already know me. I've been talking before I came up close and argument. Y'all know what's up. This is very sad. There are demons. The demons have overtaken the country. I don't know whether you watched this scary movie. I was at the York Author Fest, and a lot of authors there. By the way, I'm an author. I wrote a book. A lot of authors there wrote scary books. And why do people write about scary things? But maybe that's why already taking what they were. Because the things that are going on in Liberian government, the way these people are doing, walking by day and seeing people can't even have food to eat because we were just there, we saw it. And they still ride in their big cars and go home and sleep at night and get in the money and go back to that capital building and say they're working. Something must be over these people. They are not, I don't know whether they are aliens. Because no real human being will see such a country in such a poverty state and will not make laws to benefit the people. Because if Liberia could, all of us benefit. I mean, clear drinking water for the people, roads are maintained, built and maintained. At least infrastructure, the healthcare system, it boosts up. The education system, bringing more teachers, trained teachers. It's not hard for Liberia to come back to where it used to be and even more. These people have refused. They don't want to do it because they are very, very evil people that only want to benefit for them and their families. And that's the reason one of my friends was just telling me, you see these people who most of the time their family members are sick and they go through a lot of strain and they go through bad luck. Sometimes you want to say, but how do people do that? That's the wickedness, the evilness that they do in other places that will follow them and their children. Then people don't understand and say, but why the person going through this? This is what the people doing in Liberian government. And it's so sad to see our people suffer this way. They have refused Peabody to change the laws and cut money spending down for the common man to benefit. They have refused. So I refer to them as demons. That's
okay. Let's go to let me give Lasana a chance. My question. I know you answered differently. did Fanati Kofa and Yomli Kanga betray the Liberian people? Now you say most of the budget they should be held responsible as well. You know, what do you say about that?
You ask everybody that question, or you don't understand what you're asking?
Asking everybody.
I think everybody, yeah, all of them, yeah, agree on the same thing. So that's not issue. But I think there were several, investigation conducted. Senator Conner and other senators were in a committee that was set up by the Senate Pro Tem to probe into the issue of budget alteration, alleged budget alteration, which was almost, the credibility of the Senate was already placed on the line. But the investigation revealed that only shifting of priority issues of budget lines was done, but there is nothing like alteration or removing or adding money to the budget. Nothing like such was done. The speaker, neither the pro tem, altered the budget. No. And the finance minister, the acting finance minister, appeared on Spoon some times ago, and he explained that he due to
Spoon that legislature now?
Exactly what was done. No, I'm saying what happened. I'm saying what happened. And the legislature is there clearly, and they conducted investigation of them with the involvement of the Ministry of Finance Development Planning.
Can you please go back over? You said what happened?
Let me answer the question and then we go around everybody.
And they came out with a report that the Senate or the House of Representatives, the legislature in general, did not alter the national budget. And no alteration was done. The reports, you can ask senators that are privileged to have been a part.
But what's your definition of alteration, though? Because their budgets were made.
Let me bring up Julia, then we'll go to Robert, and then we'll go to Tony.
Take that.
But no money was added to the budget. No money was added.
No money was added to, so the list of the money that was added to the different. Let me read this thing. The list of the money that was added to the.
So Grace, the mistake you're making here is recast budget is different from the alleged alteration that was done in the approved budget. That is where you're having confusion. The recast budget that is currently before the legislature is and was submitted by the government, and it has been passed. It was passed today. That recast project is a legal practice. If the government believes that the first projected revenue to have been generated in the budget, in the national budget, has not been met and cannot be raised, they will come back to do recast of the budget. Right? For instance, to say we projected to raise $600 million, but we raised $690 million, so $10 million cannot be raised. So we'll go back to the legislature to say, let's take the money from the place, let's shape it to, let's send it so that $10 million can be adjusted in the budget. That is what they are doing.
So my question to you is why some of the representatives are very, very
Belete and all of Yaga Kulba issue is the procedure in which the budget was voted by the lower house. And that is their own personal issue. They have their laws. Their rules are there for the Senate. The Senate rule says no vote will be taken on national issue, critical national issue. If you're taking vote on critical national issue, it should be recorded. People should vote on the record. Unlike the lower house, I don't know what they adopted them as their rules. So that is why they did a year and they voting, and the speaker was present. So you can't blame the executive for that. They voted for the budget. If Musa was not able enough or capable enough to have convinced his colleagues to vote against that budget, and they voted in the majority to approve the budget and send it to the Senate to concord, and the Senate concord today, I don't think anything wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you
let's move on. Let's go to
budget was not voted the way he wanted for the budget to be voted.
Okay, let's go to Lofa. Let's go to Lofa, and then I'll go to
let Pewee let Pewee chime in, and now I'll come after Pewee shortly. Like, you wanted to say something, Pewee?
Yes, I want to tell Lasana that the budget process quickly. In terms of passing the budget, there's no year and new year. There should be hair count. It's clear. It's indicated there. There's no.
But that's how they voted at the beginning. That's how they voted.
It's not for the budget. I come 1 minute.
No, indicate. No way.
I come in. Hold on.
No way. No, let's make it clear. You say it is indicated there. Where? In what?
I mean, there are rules. In the rules. I come on. Listen.
The House of Representatives rules.
Yes.
Can you reference it or display on here that the House of Representatives?
Do you want to listen 1 minute, please?
No, it is not about listening. The public is listening to us here. You that it is on. It is clearly on the book that the voting for budget should be done.
But that was not nay and yea voting.
Part of the law.
It was not a yea and nay voting.
Listen. I may not be familiar with the exact number of the rules.
It is sooner the Senate that has
Can you please listen? And that's part of the reason. The reason why that committee is strategic. The Committee on Ways, Means, Finance, and the Budget. That's the reason why all of the counties are represented on our committee. That's the only committee that all of the counties represented. The only committee in the House of Representatives, in the both houses. And the reason is that because you're passing the budget that will determine poverty reduction and development for the country. But it says there's no way in that place that you will pass yea and nay. No. I'll give it to you.
Okay, Lasana, let me chime in here really quick, right?
Yeah.
You consented that there was alteration, okay?
No,
regardless of the intent. Let's be clear on here.
No, don't make
Hey, Lasana, hold on 1 second. Lasana, hold on 1 second. I did not say. I said you consented.
So it means I agree, and we
exactly. So let me give me the opportunity to help educate you. Lasana, let me help Lasana. Let's back it without at the UL campus. Come on now. Let's not do this.
No, but you're not.
Lasana, let me help you understand. Lasana, let me help you understand something here. Alteration and any form of editing. Lasana, any form of editing to that document, regardless of the intent, is a form of alteration. Do you know this? Do you know, and will you accept that there was a form of editing, whether the funds may have been allocated to the intended agency or whatever for the benefit of the people? So when folks on here say it was altered, you can agree, and you agree. You in your previous statement, you said they move money from one place to another. That was in your own statement. You said that earlier. I'm not putting words in your mouth.
I said, for instance, if they place money on education for like $10 million to the University of Liberia, and that money was placed on a municipality, it should not be on a municipality. It should be on education. So if that is done in a budget formulation or process from the house, the finance people can go and do their rearrangement properly to put it in order. That was what they did.
So it is altered. It is edited.
No, it wasn't that they took money from their place to send it to this place. No, they did rearrangement.
You're confusing yourself. You agree that if funds were allocated to municipality or whatever you said, what was it? What was it?
Municipality.
Okay, municipality. What? I can't even pronounce the word right.
Okay, guys, let's move on. Let's get back to
here's my thing, right?
Original question.
Here's my thing, though. In all honesty, I'm saying to you, Lasana, you cannot defend this government with the level of corrupt practices that we are now dealing with. It's almost impossible. Young man, I want to highlight this and to answer the question. I don't expect anything more from Madam Yombi Kanga Lawrence. I don't expect anything less from Speaker Fanati Kofa. You know why? Fanati Kofa in himself, he's a felon. Okay? Fanati Kofa is a felon. You don't expect him to do anything better than what he did in the United States. His records are there. Madam Yombly Kanga Lawrence, her kids are not in Liberia. She is not in the position to serve the people. Government is service oriented. Madam Kanga family is residing right here in the United States. They are benefiting from a system that already works. So Madam Kanga is simply there to take the checks and hopefully just better herself. So you expect her to do anything different? No. I am not surprised, and I can say this emphatically that yes, they betrayed the Liberian people.
Thank you, Lofa. Let's go to Robert.
So look, this is I said, Doc, can you repeat the question? What was the question?
The protest is doing well.
I said this.
Our protest is doing well.
I said the protest, Madam Kanga is doing
Speaker Kofa and Pro Tem Yombly Kanga betray the Liberian people on this budget.
Oh, okay.
Because their own committee is telling them they did nothing wrong. Their own committee.
So let me say this. I'm from Bassa, and I've said this many times, and trust me, I support women. I support women. I love women. I have great women in my corner. But I've said it and people didn't like it. They said, "Man, from Bassa, you will not get." I don't care. Miss Lawrence is one of the most unproductive and useless senator we've got in Grand Bassa County. The woman has not been productive at all.
That's too harsh now.
It's not harsh. I'm being honest. When I say useless, I'm talking about the fact that
no, you're speaking.
Honestly, can be harsh. Honestly, can be harsh. But go ahead and speak.
One second.
You're speaking to a lady.
She has been. Yeah, but listen, no, I'm not with that. No, useless in a sense that. Wait a minute. That your Liberian thing you'll be doing. I'm not saying the woman is useless. I'm saying
you said one of the useless senators. So it means she's occupying the position.
That means
useless in productivity. She's useless. Listen,
that means her occupancy of the position have yielded no result.
Her performance is useless.
So Grand Bassa and the people on Bassa. So it's very useless. Something is useless and useful. For me, I believe that we can do well. Grand Bassa, the people of Bassa can benefit on a more higher level with a better senator than Yombly Kanga Lawrence. I'm not saying she's useless. So let's not confuse this whole thing. Her performance have been useless, and I think she's one of the most useless lawmakers in the entire country. Okay, and it has nothing to do with her gender. And so, to your question, Doc, absolutely, they have betrayed the people. But the biggest betrayer here is Joseph Boakai and his gangs. It's interesting that Lasana today is on this show, and I feel bad for him because he cannot even articulate himself well in defense of Joseph Boakai. I feel very bad for him, and it's embarrassing. Is that Lasana telling us that we need more? 9 months. What have your government? What imprints have your government put forward to say this is how Joseph Boakai wants to run his government? What has he done what has he done differently than George Weah in 9 months? 9 months, you invested $22 million on dusty roads, and today there are still many cars. And then, that's not true. So the Minister of Public. That's not
view. You gotta get a view.
Wait. So this is breaking news. The Minister of Public Works lie.
He never said that.
22. I said investment. I didn't say spend. $22 million investment.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't investment.
Okay. But when you're talking, you can defend that. But it was Joseph Boakai who said that in 90 days there will be no car stock on any major roads. Did he lie to, or that's not true? That
was wrong.
Okay, so we are past 90 days. We are 9 months.
That was done well, my brother.
And there are still many cars stock in many. There are still
many.
Was
done like before Sakapia wrote the other day.
Wait now. And there are still many cars on the road, right? On roads. 9 months. What have you? What are the tangibles? What have you done differently? I saw the other liar here. He can't help himself. Abraham Darrell Dillon. He's in New York. What is he doing in New York? He posted in New York. What is he doing there? What is his purpose there? The chair on foreign affairs, on the Senate Foreign Affairs today released a statement. He went back to Capitol. They released a statement as to why they were at the UNGA. What we're saying from Darius DeLong, what is he there? What is the purpose of him being there?
The money
Have you been on the website?
Have I been on the website?
Yeah, his website.
What is his website? What is his purpose in being there? Can you tell me?
No, go on the website and read.
Why must I go on his website? He posts everything on Facebook.
Because you should have access. Go on the website.
I don't follow pathological liars. He's a pathological liar. I don't follow people like that. Anyway, listen.
You watching the can Robert speak?
Lasana, let me Lasana, you got 4 more years or 5 more years, my brother, okay, to come on platform like this to defend this government. But I tell you this, when you come back here, I want you to go back and equip yourself. When you come back, I want you to come back here very strong, because you're not doing a good job trying to defend this government. You are not doing a good job because there is nothing here to defend. There is nothing here to defend. You are defending.
You have a preconceived mind. So if it's judgment day, you still not believe anything I say here. Because you have a preconceived mind.
Why should I believe you when we in the country?
So there is no need to go.
The economy has not improved. How many jobs have you created? How many more companies have you brought into the country? The health sector has not improved. The education sector has not improved. And you are telling us here, Lasana, that we must go sector by sector. You only have 6 years. If you go sector by sector, you're not going to have enough time to address all of the issues in every sector. The government
cannot be done at once.
Robert, can I borrow 30 seconds?
I want to let you on this.
Last 30 seconds. Wait, I'm done.
Okay, let me just say this to you, right, Lasana. You are mentioning Darius DeLong personal website as though that is something for the public. That is his personal website.
No, it is for the public. It is for the public.
Lasana,
I can mention the DeLong. At least he has a website. How many people got a website?
It is for the public.
Lasana. Here's what it is, right? And I will share this with you for you to understand this. When you say a public website, that is the office own. Why it is true that DeLong put up a page of his own, that is his private page, like his Facebook page.
It is his office page.
It is not.
Issues are posted on our website.
That the content of the page does not make it a public only.
So which content or context that you know the page is on?
I've followed the page several times. I'm telling you exactly what it is. It is
so
not.
Which content you saw on our page that is not reflecting the office or the workings of the senator?
What you have on there, you have a business page of Darius DeLong selling what he's working, what he's doing. That's what it is.
But he's a senator now. That's occupying the office as a senator. So the office is directly under the senator. So that's
hold on. Give yourself a second to think about this, right? Dr. Peabody, if you don't mind, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show Darius DeLong's page, and I'm going to compare it to other, representatives or senators' page, and let us make the comparison, and then you guys can hopefully educate some of us on what Lasana.
Compare with Amarakone's website and see.
Why am I comparing them with the same birds? I'm telling you the birds of the same feather, the flock.
Exactly
you're not doing something right. Lasana, the public-owned page is hosted and it is maintained through the institution, the agency. The Senate website. We are
not discussing the Senate website yet. We are discussing the personal website of the senator, and the office is directly under the senator. You don't expect the senator to run the Senate website. He's running his website.
That's what I'm telling you. It is his personal page.
His personal page. His personal page is on
Facebook. Does he work for the senator?
Guys, Look how we get it to we get our feeder. Let us know. Let's go to 2 minutes.
Dad,
All right,
question. You work for Abraham Dower dealer?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I understand now. Oh, I understand.
Okay. Lasana, I want to say, Lasana, you holding your ground. I mean, you know, there's a tough environment, but I tell you, you know, I think holding your ground.
I know
the tough environment.
I exactly where I'm coming from.
I disagree with your boss. I think I got a clip of him speaking on Saturday, I think, and when he said that he agreed with Besson God, they should lock find the acting finance minister Myers. I disagree with them. Why put the blame on Anthony Myers? You don't know this was scapegoat. Why they can't say they can't go after the president or those who prepared the budget? Why only the one that you're going after the? But they were saying they might fine Anthony Myers $5,000. You should go after him. Father, put on no confidence in him. I disagree with them. They shouldn't look. Jihad is trying to put the blame on the deputy clerk for authoring the budget. No, it shouldn't for scapegoats. But look, for me, I disagree with them. I think it should be.
So who do you think should be here responsible?
The three, President Boga, Fonati, and John Lee. They don't want to be responsible.
So why?
Because the meeting have Boga House.
We just move on.
Because the budget.
But so why?
Let's move forward.
This is not.
Too many say the poor have busy. Where they have busy at?
Oh, they have meeting at Boga House. Doing no. Okay. But look, before we, I know Peabody, I know you said I'm going to the next topic, but yeah, but again, the budget, as I said again, I disagree with that budget. They should have not voted that budget to pass it. If they have said, look, Liberian people, let this government be shut down, Liberian people will get mad and will come in the streets and say, why the government shut down, they were reacted. That's why he heard them in the Senate that day. They were crying and say, be careful. One day the people will come, the Liberian will get mad with us, they will come after us here. You know, be careful. They were crying on Saturday, you heard them. But with all being said,
yeah.
That.
So what shut down? What shut down?
Let me make that.
What shutdown Dida will be calling for? When Dida is all over the place, he's getting free money. His friend, the fire service, just got budget increase. He will get a cut in that. He's flying all over the place.
I was saying, everybody, realize the fact that they said that if they continue to operate with operating, Liberian people will get. But they realize that they are they're making mistakes. They realize that they are betraying the public trust. So they are saying now, let's be careful. People get there one day and they will come in the streets. So they foresee what will happen in the future. Foreseeable future. But let's get quickly to the issue about this issue.
I want to say something, right? So I can just come in quick before you move on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just two things I want to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
There is this perception that they don't have his friend to fire service or whatever. They don't have nobody to fire service. The individual that is the deputy director of administration and fire service is a national leader of the Unity Party. He served as the national assistant secretary general of the Youth Congress of the Unity Party. He was appointed on the basis of his position and working at the level of the Unity Party. So he has no connection or whatsoever or whosoever that worked at the fire service, though he worked in Senator Dillon's office before. And secondly, to Robert's issue of the Senate protest, I think Madam Kanga is trying. What she has done over the period of 9 months.
Trying for 12 years?
Let me progress.
What she has done in the period of 9 months is very impressive. To have conducted a system audit of the Senate was too serious courage.
We want system audit. We want real system audit.
Right?
I don't want the progress.
Those are all vlog. Let's get to the next topic. Those are not vlog. Those are all vlog.
Let me say this. You know, you I don't people are talking about but look, we're trying to. That's not. But
that's not talking.
That's not. You are trying, my brother. You are trying.
That's not you trying.
So that's what I'm saying, right? You can look at GAC, a credible institution conducted an audit. Then you say that vlog.
System audit. That's not. We want system audit. We want comprehensive audit where the audit that Musa calling for. Audit we want.
Have you gone through the audit report? The audit that was conducted by the Senate. Go through it. It is very damaging.
Go for that. Go through that audit.
It is very damaging.
Most of the leaders will not be there. Got a hands for each job.
Mabuza is actually honest with his sport.
That's an offering. Oh, boy, that's it. Hello,
That was another topic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. On this whole car saga and stuff like that. Senator McGill, of all person, is calling on LSCC to investigate the current minister. McGill, not even somebody different, not even somebody, is calling for investigation on the current minister, on the car and stuff like that. But where's that coming from?
Okay, buddy.
Senator McGill. Let me go ahead. Let me give you that.
Yes.
Start.
The issue about this whole issue about car business. Look, first of all, let me say this. There's a leak document from the Senate, from the UP chat room. And the reason why they leaked that document, I will say this. Look, y'all all pay attention carefully. When these guys came to power, they came with had their own agenda. The first thing what some of them did was they said, look, the medtech contract they put, let's get rid of it, so they can bring their own friends in it. Their own friends to all be shares into it. But because the LRA boss and the common minister rejected it, from my understanding, how come you watch the exchange between in the UP chat room with a lady called Vambala. Okay, they're saying, well, it's like we got it here for the open it, everybody enjoy, you want to enjoy it, so you want hold it tight. When trouble can want for the join you or fight for you, we're not doing it. Exactly what happened in simple terms. Okay. Now, the issue about that whole LRA is something. The LRA came out with a statement today, and I think somebody who talked to Double Jala was clear. First of all, let me say this. I have the high respect for Double Jala. High respect for him. As somebody who follow his track record in government. The guy who is respected. Okay. So there was no crime committed. No bribery took place. People keep on mixing it. Okay. But the issue about the car, yes, there are questions to be asked. The cost of the car, yes, it's a legitimate question. But to say, the way I heard other people discussing it, like they went and bought this car, custom made car, all that's not true. They can't bring document to prove it. That lie. No $150,000 car was bought. That money in question, the late Thomas do now, when he was LRA boss, he said, look, this money should not go into the government's consolidated account. It should go instead into a account, I think, a METEC, a IRA account. So when they took over now, the LRA boss realized that the money is only about $4 million there. This money was intended to build the capacity of LRA and Commerce Ministry in handling government taxes at the put in, whatever the case to be. So now, but in one of the capacity that comes to the building was to provide logistics like cars and others, so forth. The cost of the cars is a different argument. We can argue a different way, but that car issue was bought. The price is something we can discuss. But that's the issue coming from all there. People are just getting mad and trying to create something. And one thing I'll say this: those who are talking now, they went above and beyond. They did everything through the window to ensure that the Russian government was elected. But because they don't have the right in the government, they don't have the way they wanted to control the government, to have the political position, to have control, they're not seeing a way. So they are somersaulted. So as a result now, I'm not going to sit down and join you. I will be objective as possible. I'm not going to join you to just come away, misinformation, just kind of spew it out there and join you to support it. No, I will not do that because we got to find the facts. Go behind the facts and find them. Okay? And I also said the question. You have called for a lot of people to be fired from the government and so forth. But as long as the people enjoy the confidence of President Boyka, they will remain to their jobs. That's why the Constitution says those appointed by the president serve at his will and pleasure. So the president if he has not yet stopped enjoying his confidence, you'll be to your job. So my thing is that let's look at it carefully. You can investigate it, find out too. Look at the LRA statement and see whether crime was committed, whether bribery was committed. You can see it. So, but I want to say this. That's my position so far, and I'm gonna wait for other panelists to come and chime in.
Where is Elliot? Elliot left. They told him to leave. I mean, Lasana. They called Lasana to leave.
Yeah,
Reinforcement. Maybe.
Oh, you're gonna get it there. You people should get him.
So who's next? Is it Guar? So Tomalin, here is my issue. I read the minister response to the car situation, and I thought that the response was strong, but it did not address adequately the accusation, right? And I like the fact that this is one man who I think no one can deny the fact that uh, this man made life for himself and his family prior to coming to government, right? That should be the objective, right? If he were to leave the Ministry of Commerce, I'm sure that he will still maintain a lifestyle. And so he had cars. He talked about cars he had and things like that. And I like that, right? But like I said, just because I own a BMW and a Mercedes Benz plus a Jeep doesn't negate or it's not a reason why I shouldn't be open to scrutiny. And the fact of the matter is, the car that he was standing by in that photo, he did not address that. Not at all. He did not address if that car belongs to the ministry, if that car were recently purchased. He did not address any of those things. He talked about his wealth. He talked about the fact that he owned companies and he owned vehicles. He owned a boat. We know what he owns. We read his
Asset declaration.
asset declaration. And again, like I said, I like the fact that this man already has some money. His family is good. He has businesses. But he has to understand now that he's a public official. He's a public servant. He works for the Liberian people, and there were certain expectations with regards to how they conduct themselves. And so when I trust me, I'm not a big fan of Martin. I've said it before. I'm not a big fan. But when you are responding to these things, you have to respond and hit the nail on his head, which I thought he missed an opportunity to do. He addressed everything else but the car situation. So I'm still not sure whether or not that car was purchased. There's two things happening here. Was that car recently purchased for him? Because if the car was recently purchased for him, here's the question. The previous minister already had a car there. Was that car not good enough for the minister to use? Was it not good enough for him to use? He talked about using his Mercedes Benz for 6 months. Why did he have to use his Mercedes Benz for 6 months, Tomalin? These ministries have vehicles. Government is continuity, right? So if you're coming to a ministry, you can't tell me there's no car in the ministry, period. Now, if you choose to use your private vehicle and choose to buy a fuel for your private car, that's totally up to you. But this whole idea that I use my private vehicle because the car there, I did not want to use an old car by a previous minister, that's up to you. My question here is, that Jeep, is it a brand new Jeep? 1, 2, how much does it cost? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. He did not address any of these things.
Let's move on.
So
my time, right?
Let's move on. Let's go to Chris, and then Sylvester, and then Julius. Let's go to Chris.
Yeah, for me, I would just say quickly, we saw him defend himself, talking about his wealth and everything. We know you're wealthy. We don't care about that because their wealth has not built Liberia, so it has nothing to do with us. We decided to be.
No, Grace. Yeah, his money has created jobs opportunity.
He has not built Liberia to say. He has
he's not a government to build Liberia.
Yeah, he's a private citizen.
He's a private citizen. He's not a government.
Yeah, of course, he's a private citizen, but now he works for the government. So we don't care about him mentioning his wealth. This is not the issue. His wealth is not the issue. The mere fact that we're hearing that $100,000 car was bought.
Great.
For entity
I think it was the issue. Is the thing getting Liberian people to understand what he's saying? I think it's important to bring about his wealth. Because
I disagree. I disagree. He's basically Chris, okay?
I'm glad. I mean, you can disagree all you want. But
I said, declaring.
What some other networks are doing is purely trying to destroy another person. We know
I disagree. So because I drive $100,000 car, because I'm a private citizen and I can afford $100,000 car, the justification here is well, this is not my first time driving $100,000 car. That's not your private money buying a $100,000 car. That's the people's money. And so the justification he's making is, oh, I've driven private car before. I have a boat. I own a Mercedes-Benz. I own a BMW. Granted, that's fine. You did well for yourself. So is that a justification to spend $100,000 of the people's money to drive a brand new car with the tuning watch already there?
That's my point. Can I speak?
That's a very good point. But let get to understand the LRA issue. LRA had issued a statement today and said that, I mean, clearing him. I don't want us to. I mean, everybody entitled to the opinion can say anything they want to say, but we know other networks who just go after people because they disagree or deny pay or they didn't talk and try to terminate. I mean, the optics is bad, and like what LRA put up today, we need to check it out and see what it put up. But I mean, to be honest, I'm just sound a little partial here, but
you very partial here though.
No. I think
you are.
I want to talk about. I mean, what? Wealth. I'm talking about his wealth.
Because the lifestyle they live before they buy empowerment for
right.
a poor country, the poorest country in the world, to buy $100,000 for man. You know.
Okay, great. That move on, great.
I mean,
let's go to Sylvester.
Even if he did not buy the car, we want to know insights on.
I agree that the prices are different, but not 100,000, not 60,000. I heard. But I
6,000, right? That's the 100,000. One or two.
And it's a custom maker. Well, maybe the other thing are just all
Look, let me say the optics is bad.
So
the optics was bad, but as we compare both.
They don't want you to speak. They will be talking when you Tomalin and people.
No, Greg. I'm not talking.
I'm done.
Go ahead, talk, Greg, talk.
You better not talk.
Who told you about you can't talk under the max?
Listen, we're not talking about no optics barrier. We are saying Liberia government will not make anybody comfortable because they've been rich before they come into government. When you get into government, you come to serve. We don't care about your car, whether you have boat, you own a plane. We have nothing to do with that. You are in a capacity to serve Liberian, you serve the Liberian. When we hearing in the news that or $90,000 car was bought for you for operations only, for a country that is the poorest country in the world, then we start to get like, okay, well, what's going on? So for you to come and if you want to come and speak to the people that this is not the case, then you have to bring a level understanding to us that why this car was bought for you.
Sis Grace, I'm not interrupting you, right? Can we check on our
and what you own?
Our guest panelists?
Yes, sir. They have me inside. Somebody only have me inside. We don't care about that. That's just what I'm saying.
Guys, can we check on our guest panelists? Make sure he's okay.
He gone for the night. Leave him alone.
you don't know that.
All right. Sylvester, come Sylvester. Sylvester know how government people to purchase
for me,
what Sylvester come and say. I can already tell what he come and say. But go ahead, my brother.
No. You see, Ralph, maybe you'll be wrong on this one. But yeah, let me say this. I can recall vividly the leg of the Amin Modad and the United Party folks when former President Weah started building his condominium and his property. They were part of the group of people that came out and said it was a terrible optics while he's being president, he started to build these things. But they knew very well that this honorable man, worked hard for his money. He was a very wealthy person. He could build those things. But they also came out and said the optics. Now, I don't want to go through too much of those things that are unfolding currently. I just want to also speak to the optics here. When Amin Modad, we all know that he's well off. Probably he can afford that car. On a more serious note. But to just own that car when he's not the Minister of Commerce.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You know, the guy can move, and that's what my madam said. He said it before. She said one of the things she can get angry with herself, she bashed a child state up. When she sat in the presidency, she knew all the things to be president, not a small thing. To just put more other people is a difficult thing. Now you Minister of Commerce, you ride a car, and number one, yes, and you said it just now. You said he didn't explain, but you also tried a little bit defending him. He said his defense was strong. So it seems to me, I mean, but I got a lot of friends on this platform. He got a lot of friends on this platform.
Taking shots with low key.
I'm sure the first person I started is Bravo. He said the man defense was forceful. But Bravo came out to protect it, to window dress it a little bit. But let me say it is just quite unfortunate that, I mean, with that one thing, he violated the government policy on Ryan vehicle more than $45,000. It's one.
Thank you.
He violated that. And I thought his supervisor needed to reprimand him.
What the law? Well, I want to see that law that says so. Please,
yeah, it's there.
Policy.
Yeah, it's within the PFM law.
When I want defender, I think I say find the law, put it up.
That is within the PFM. That is there. It is there. No government official should ride vehicle. I mean, okay. The only exception there is the president and the vice president. But
so they can ride $1.5 million car.
Appointed by the president.
They can ride $1.5 million car.
No, it is a $1.5 million car, but it tag us to that process. But here's what I was saying the most serious note. I thought, I mean, and that's one of the reasons he wouldn't tell you when the vehicle was purchased. That's just a mistake. But yeah, it's it. And you know, when money guys are in government and they are about to corrupt the system, it's difficult to catch them. You can catch money boys stealing from government. Because anything they do, they'll say, I had the money before.
There you go.
So
exactly.
that's where we have to be a little mindful. But these are the people that can be dangerous in government. Because everything that they do, they will carry back.
That's exactly what he did.
I was having money before. No, but come on. If you see the whole thing, that's government money there. That's not your money.
So how would you justify? How would you justify the full American? How do you justify the full American bus who are riding the same car?
So it was passed by government.
So
listen, we're not trying to juxtapose the two. No, I'm not doing that. But what we're trying to do here is, if you said the people did it yesterday was wrong, if I said Will Raul call your hair is wrong, I shouldn't call it C hair.
Exactly.
I shouldn't have the C hair caught. That's what I'm saying here. Right? Mudar would know. Mudar owned a house worth almost $1.5 million in Liberia. Right? So we know all those things.
He gave UP headquarters. So what
they bought a car for the man. Man, the car not for him.
So who bought a car for him?
Well, why somebody should use from your
who bought a car for him?
So Tomalin,
I get problem with the price. I get problem with the price of the car. I get problem with it.
What happened to the old car?
So Tomalin, though, in order for a government to make such purchase, there must be reasons, or they must be able to defend it, right? All right, this 100 and whatever amount vehicle that is purchased for Mr. Moda. Why? Is it because he's the commerce minister, so he needs extra protection? Why are we spending that much money for an individual?
Oh, who bought the car? Are the rest importer people?
And here's my thing. That's why a lot of time people ask me.
You couldn't even carry rest pass now.
A lot of time people will say to me, I don't.
At least they give 5 librarians and RPD to import rice. So I mean, how many people are Liberian import rice in the country?
Well, okay, so Tomalin, in regards to that, how many Liberians can afford the conditional statement that is added to that decision to provide opportunity to Liberians to import rice? How many Liberians, considering the condition, they require amount for one to be considered an importer? How many Liberians, based on the economy today, how many of them can afford it? How many of us?
Then you turn to now. At least the opportunity has been given. 5 Liberians can import rice, right? Get an import IPD to import rice. So now you go to the Ministry of, you provide loans to the Liberian people. Give Liberian people a loan. So the money.
And we'll not deviate from this particular car purchase part. I will go back to the issue of the car purchase, right? The optics in itself is bad.
I agree.
Secondly, the same people who were complaining about the flamboyant style, lifestyle of the previous folks who were in government are exhibiting the same and nothing different.
No, they're doing more. Lofa, they're doing more.
But I mean,
Okay, there you go. Thank you.
flamboyant person, you know that. Not a flamboyant person, though.
Who?
I mean, not a flamboyant person, you know that.
How can you say he's not a flamboyant person?
Not flamboyant?
How can you say he's not a flamboyant person when this is an individual who's willing to purchase $100,000 or more vehicle?
He's not flamboyant. He's not flamboyant.
He didn't purchase his car.
He's not flamboyant. He's extravagant.
What is flamboyance then? If you purchase the vehicle, that is
look at
exactly
the net worth will tell you, Pewee. As I declare,
but that's different though.
That's extravagance.
Work hard to be a businessman.
So Tomalin, this is
They should remain in the private sector again.
My point of contention here is this, right? My point of contention is not whether he can afford the vehicle, but the finance, the money that is being used to purchase the vehicle is not his personal money. So that in itself, if he's using our money to purchase a vehicle for his office use, he is being flamboyant to some extent and wasteful. Not only is he being flamboyant, but
we want to know.
I will agree with you, but listen, Lofa, if you say I'm taking that money, I want to go buy it.
No, had he taken his own money and purchased that vehicle, I would have celebrated a Liberian brother who can afford that, because I know he's invested in Liberia. He create businesses and other things that he's carrying on. But at this point, at this juncture, where we are looking to create opportunity for Liberian, where we are struggling with the issue of healthcare, quality education, and other things, and then this individual, clean drinking water, thank you.
Come on,
all of those things. Okay, the poverty rate is literally skyrocketing.
Yeah,
and then these individuals who should have been. Let me just land here for a second, brother. These individuals who should have been the rescue Rambos or other people rescuing Liberia are now being disrespectful to the people to some extent, where they are wasteful in their spending. And you want me to believe that because he can afford to purchase a vehicle worth $150,000, I'm supposed to celebrate that? I think if I was in the position, I would have fired him. He should not be serving in a position going forward, because that is not the agenda that the UP ran on. They ran on an agenda that actually portrayed the understanding of the situation that people are undergoing. The people are dying in the country. People are dying from curable disease, and you put one man in a $100,000 vehicle and you say we celebrate that.
Can you give me 30 seconds? Let me play devil advocate.
You're accusing him of taking bribe and breaking the law. You commit a crime?
No. We are not speaking. And again, that's why I did not go into the legal aspect of it.
You're being accused of violating the law. You're being accused of breaking the law, committing crime. What I say? The optics can discuss the optics, but shouldn't say it.
I think what the government should do, the government should go back, revisit the policy on what car each cabinet minister drive, and each member of the legislature will drive, and all of that. I think all over. You don't even know the price of the car that the speaker or the pro tem is riding at the moment. Other ministers in government are riding on the same car. I think the government need to revisit that.
No, but yeah, I said that people, the speaker and the pro tem got their separate budget. The speaker, the pro tem, and the president pro tem, the deputy speaker got their personal budget.
So they can ride $1 million car.
It's not part of the
budget
again. They can ride $1 million car if they want.
Come again?
You can ride $1 million car if they want. They can ride $1 million car if they want.
You want to Pewee?
Come again?
Ask a question.
I said they can ride $1 million car if they want. You gotta have their own budget.
Yeah, they will determine what it will take for car, but they're in our opinion.
Okay.
So let me ask.
You got a priest Moyi who continuously finger the budget in there. He's a crook. He's a rogue. Priest Moyi.
I mean, but that came to that ministry saying that he loved Liberia. He already had money. He didn't need a job. He just wanted to help the country. So we want to know his oversight in the ministry. We want to know the kind of job he has already accomplished in that ministry. We want to know the transparency of the ministry. We want to know all those things. What is it that he has done so much in the 9 months that require that he gets a $100,000 car just for operations?
Chris, can I share something with you guys real quick? Robert, please, let me share this with you guys, right? Let me share this with you guys.
That means that official government car.
Somebody
Everybody drive the same. And I want all government official right.
So let me tell you guys something, right? I think I shared this in the chat room the other day. Supporters of UP, they reach out to me. You know what the guys are doing? And I can, if I have to, I will provide this information. These guys who are actually in this position, like an example would be the NPA director, the National Port Authority. This guy is upright telling those in position at the port that he paid for his position. And this is information from not anybody else, from a UPist who call, and they are crying. This do every night, as it is alleged. Let me be correct here. As it is alleged, this dude is taking rice almost every night from the port to the county because he wants to run in that county where Edwin Snow is. How are we supposed to be governing in this way? And then people will say, so when somebody wrote on here and said the man is taking his money worth that he paid for that position, I want to believe it, because I'm telling you, the port director himself is involved in this kind of behavior almost every night. Last night, somebody woke me up and said, oh, Bobby, the truck is going again. Get up. I'm like, I'm trying to sleep here. You're not going to kill me for Liberian people think.
Give a 30-second, please, guys. So I think when I read, oh, by the way, Grace, I think he was indirectly justifying the purchase of the vehicle when he said in 9 months, they've generated close to $2.something million. That's what he said. So that was part of the achievement that he indicated. But I think that when you drive a certain vehicle, and sometimes I'm guilty of it, especially when I'm in Africa, when you drive a certain vehicle and you are used to a certain lifestyle, and I'm going to get to this point, you feel like, you know what? I don't care where I'm at. I gotta be in something nice.
When I call you driving like bro.
You like bro?
Yeah.
I drive a Honda. Sometimes I drive a Mercedes.
Wow.
Yeah, I drive a Honda. Sometimes I drive a Mercedes. But when you drive a certain kind of car,
a lot of money.
But they're not government money, they're own money.
But we just told you to donate 5,000.
No, Grace. I have a wife. I have to consult my wife now. But anyway.
Roberto.
That thing get out of trouble. Anybody call you small money? I mean, we're smart. I gotta consult my wife. But let's
you
see.
smart.
But no, they will call you say one beer, but you don't talk about you gotta consult.
But let's see. So when you're used to driving a certain kind of car in the private sector, whatever, I don't care where you at, you won't drive that same. It kind of get tempting. It's almost like when you fly business class one time. I have not stopped flying business class since I fly one time when I had small money. I fly business class after the Super Bowl to Ghana, and every time now I'm flying.
You enjoy it. Yeah, it
got used to you. But here's the thing. Well, here's a mistake, man. There is a mistake the man made. There's a mistake the man made, right? If I was him and I want to keep driving my luxury car or whatever, then he has to decide and say, you know what? Since I can't continue driving the old $25,000-$35,000 car used by the previous minister, and because I'm a man of integrity and because I came here to serve, I want to make the conscious decision to use my own car. I will use my own car. Just make sure you get my fuel. I will use my car. Then he can use his own Mercedes-Benz or BMW or his own luxury car that he had previously in the private sector, right? Wear and tear, that's totally on him. The government can buy his fuel. He can use that. So no one is arguing here that the man ain't got money. We know the man. He's one of the richest ministers in the government. But the point here is this. You can't continue to drive luxury. You can't continue to be at that level on the backs of poor taxpayers that you came to rescue. And so on that note, I disagree. If he wants to purchase a $96,000 Tahoe or SUV, I'm sure he can afford it. He could have said, you know what? I will go and purchase my car. I'll purchase that car. And the government can just fuel my car. This car belongs to me. Anything happens, he gets fired or dismissed, he takes that car to his family house. But it's wrong to say because I'm used to a certain standard, I'm used to a certain lifestyle, and so regardless of where I'm at, I have to get that lifestyle on the backs of poor people. Then you're contradicting yourself. You are not rescuing the people, you're rescuing yourself. The poor people in that country cannot afford even a baht, least to say that kind of car. But the problem also, Grace, is this. When these guys see the president, the vice president, when these guys see these guys who never drove the kind of car in their lives before, or would have never been in a position to live the kind of lifestyle they're living right now, when they see them doing that, can you imagine the president got a $500,000 car, bulletproof, in that small Moreover there? They're thinking to themselves, but if the president can drive that kind of car, if my buddy at the other ministry is driving an $80,000 car, if the other buddy driving $90,000, then why should I be driving around, walking around Moreover in a $45,000 car? This is
on the rocket roads.
Meanwhile, the poor people continue to struggle. Do you know how many times people car gets stopped because people are begging? Do you know how much you spend from the airport to Morovia? By the time you get to the airport, RIA, by the time you hit the street, you already gone $300, $400. You don't even know how that money gone because you're giving people money. People are begging. We need to do better, my people. Everyone will never be on the same level, but we need a country where the little man, 80% of the people can at least say they can go and save. They can build a house from a zinc rod. They can build a 2-bedroom house. A kid graduating from the University of Liberia can upgrade his parents' lifestyle. This is the Liberia we want. But the 10% of us who are fortunate cannot continue to enjoy on the backs of the poor people. So on that note, even me who love good things, at my own hard sweat money, I will never accept $96,000 car Pewee because I'm used to that kind of lifestyle. If I want to continue that, and the government cannot afford that, I will have to do that on my own. But I cannot continue living luxury on the backs of poor people. That's wrong.
No, I agree with you.
So to be honest though, let me. So you guys will not check on our guest panelists.
That man
make sure he's
night.
okay. No, but I'm just saying, Dr. Peabody, Tomalin, can you guys check on the mission is okay?
No, I think maybe he may have had some internet
hospitality. I mean, let's just show this man great hospitality.
Get out of place.
Say iPhone went off.
Yeah, but Raro, you said it right on the most serious note, and I'm one person that believe that it is good to, and that's one of the major problem in Liberia also. And if you are in government in Liberia, you go and sit down in another car, and I've been a victim of that circumstances. Anybody see any other car, even no government plane, those you run in a government car, you know that's one of the reasons. And I was pleased when I left government, when I returned to Liberia after I left. There's a time, and I argued with one of the people that I knew before one of the times. So I'm back. Oh, they're not bringing the government car. I have to excuse me. I had to zip it off. It's not everybody, so it's a clear thing. And the reason behind that is because of the poverty rate in the country.
Yeah.
So the poverty rate in the country
and the academic limitations.
Yeah, and the level of the way people think, the perception of our people, and many other things that will unfold. So it's a difficult problem. If you are to go to Liberia, a lot of things happen in the country. If you start running big car, you're not in government, they want to tell us, that they may not be a BS, or I may not do this, or all the other way around. So again, my thought process about this issue is that if you're in government, you have to march. The marching order have to be straightforward. Now, for instance, if you want to live the kind of flamboyant and extravagant lifestyle, and you have the means to feel that style, is before, for instance, if Rawa is appointed minister of this, Rawa come out and announce and put his fleet of vehicle and put it out. So there's a vehicle, I'm getting the vehicle before I hit government, going there. So when you ride there, at least it will bother something up there.
No, I was saying my old BMW. I was just saying I want to.
Yeah, you send over and other thing, and I'm thinking I was telling somebody something that my mail. So that lecture last night. He said, I ride a 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander. It's almost 61,000. So I'm taking it to Liberia next year. So when I'm thinking, so 2024 Grand Highlander, I'm taking it to Liberia next year, and I don't know. I'm thinking, I was trying to research the custom fees that will be attached to it and something. All right. So that amount, that is not going to be somebody saying they will say, "Oh, new progressive gonna know that is new." No, on a serious note, if you want to do those things, you outside of it, I mean, people will tell you that the man did this, but you in government and you put it on a car that worth $90,000 or $84,000. That is a that is a 2024 vehicle. The top of the line of that vehicle is around $115,000. That's the top of the line. It's in
That's the customized.
Yes. So
the whole thing is
can he
optic.
afford it? If you see that the man did, one would debate the problem that he can afford that. But did he get it from his own pocket money? That's the big question. Now,
But anyway, you have bought it for his pocket money, like Brempo would have still said government, it's still government money.
But then he was going to say, this is my own
The
money.
optics
Exactly.
no. It would have said now.
You saw the bill, the receipt.
Yeah, but like Brempo still saying.
But Dr. Peabody, though, what you dish, you should be willing to accept. Remember, we sat on these various platforms and accused President Weah of erecting all the homes that he built, alluding to the fact that he didn't build them prior to his ascendancy to the presidency. Yeah. So I think it is the optics that a lot of us look at.
That is the optics. No
doubt.
The optic is the problem, and I think
I agree with the optics. I agree with the optics.
Okay. So
wait.
But Tomalin, though.
I agree with the optics. What do you mean by that?
You talk about the amount of money.
High and low, but exactly what.
No, but my point is, he put money aside. I think the money I'm gonna spend on that car. No, that's what he did.
Well, he had a choice to reject or accept.
That's a debate. Yeah, but the way how they did portray.
But
that's the right thing to do.
So let me ask you a question. So when the minister buying the car, the minister don't know about it?
But
no. When the minister is buying a car, the car, for instance, now when the budget has been prepared, the Commerce Ministry, for instance, or the Commerce Ministry will prepare her budget and submit all the things and submit it, and the Ministry of Finance will submit everything to the legislature. Now, the minister himself will have to go in front of the legislature to defend the budget. But he says in those line items, will say we have money for vehicle, fuel, and lubrications, right? Lubricants, fuel, and vehicle. We'll say this line item for Ministry of Commerce, we have, let's say, $2 million for vehicles in Ministry of Commerce. The $2 million will cover, I'm just saying for example, vehicle for minister, vehicle for deputy minister, vehicle for assistant minister, and vehicle for principal director, including the commerce inspector, the inspector general of commerce. They put it line item, you go and defend. If that is budget is passed,
for academic fraud.
If the budget is passed, then you pass through the PPCC now to go through the procurement process. Have kind of a procurement process.
So that means he knows the price tag of the car before it was bought.
Yes.
So then come on.
It's there. It be captured there. Yeah, right. It will be captured. And most of the people will say,
that car, man. Come on, you don't do this.
What kind of car is it then? Tomalin.
So Tomalin, help us understand, right? When you say, as for me, I really want to understand your point of contention.
I think we're gonna try and end it here. That's
our close here.
Oh, okay. But
so the president speaking. Are we covering the president message on Wednesday?
To tell us how they feel about.
Yeah.
You want to do it? You want to go there for us?
Yeah, where I man? Did we live?
I already got back, man.
You want to go there? We'll give you access to.
I got back. I ain't going back.
Y'all bought me a ticket for the Togar airport to fly there.
No, we get you train.
Oh, the train, right?
Yeah.
I just drove.
Wait. Lofa in New York, I think.
I'm not in New York. I ain't going back over there.
I spoke to my good friend, brother.
I'm not going back over there. I thought the deliberation was today. That's why I really thought
it's Wednesday.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm not going back over there, bro.
When you protest?
You got jokes.
Lofa, so where are you? You're studying Ireland?
I thought it was today. I wasted my time, bro. That for real.
Where are you? You're studying Ireland?
I'm not even studying Ireland. I'm back home, bro.
The protest.
No, but how Lofa will protest when all the tribalistic people, they kissy. In fact, he said he come from Lofa country. They kissy people back in New York to go meet the men. The people just try to
no, Grace. That's part of the reason why I made it.
So Lofa people.
Grace, that's why I made a conscious decision. Grace, I made a conscious decision to oppose that, but unfortunately, and it's embarrassing for me to sit on here on the major platform and say the date was wrong. I should have done due diligence to do more research, but unfortunately, they did not provide the actual date. I was really thinking it was today. And that's why we made a decision. People who know me.
No, but we're now that we're going to be on the 25th, actually.
On the 25th? Yeah, I did. Tomalin, I told you about it, right? Yeah. I even told folks about it. Like, literally, I didn't take my kids to school today. But anyway, it's all good.
Yeah, but there are Peabody and
I will have the opportunity to protest against President Boyka and his corruption. It's not over.
Let me do my closing. Yeah, so you go, bro.
There are Peabody quickly before you. There are Peabody too many. I spoke to my man. The man spoke highly of both of you, but you'll be covering the process live. A very major Liberian talk show host, so you guys know already. He spoke highly of both of you on a serious note, but I think he's going to be kind of live also. But we hope to see it move on.
Let me do my closing, yeah. Listen, you're paying me for free, so I'm not going to UNG Capital cover no Joseph Boyka. I will not be covering Joseph Boyka.
You're not fair, Raul. Not fair.
I'm not doing it. But we'll critique. We'll listen to the speech and we'll critique the speech. But let me say this, man. Listen, man, people enjoying that country. Listen, that country, Liberia, you guys don't understand. Even me don't understand. People are living life in that country. People are living life in that country. You go to some homes. And you will think that you say that there's a house in Liberia. People are living life in our country, and this is what we will do. We will live life in our country. Let me tell you something. There was a time I used to really feel bad, and I said, I can't take this trip. I can't do this. I can't do that because I rather for more than 11 years. Doc said a lot of people do humanitarian work in that country. I still do, and I will continue to do. But I've come to the realization, man. You know what? Life is short. I will not allow for bad dream. I'm not going to sleep. I will.
Even bro, sleep and enjoy.
Yes, I will enjoy myself because the thing of the day, Doc, the people you fighting for, sometimes the people don't feel for themselves. Doc, the people do not feel for themselves. Why would I even be worried about taking a $150,000 car to Liberia? When you drive down Wallace, the tires are going through purple water. There's separate tent down Wallace the way you go for the lapa, the way you buy the lapa, especially during rainy season time. The smell in that place is ridiculous, and it makes me even sick to my stomach that people are still sitting. People sit over there for hours selling lapa and selling other things. These people don't care about themselves. They see what's happening to them. Election after another. They don't care about themselves. People, look, in order for you, we will continue to speak up. We will continue to speak up. But in order for you to get help, you got to internally tell yourself, I think I need help. I think I need help. You cannot help someone who doesn't think that they need help. You can't give what you don't have. You just can't. You can't. If you want to give $5 to someone, you got to have $5 in the bank or $10 to get that $5 and then keep $5 for yourself. And so for these guys to even consciously talk about driving $500,000 car, when the president convoy travels in the remotest part of the country, you see how dirty the convoy is. They're going through all those dusty roads, those bad roads. And then you think about the maintenance of those cars are not cheap. So who's going to pay for the maintenance of those cars when they come back to Monrovia? Who's going to pay for it? Taxpayer. In the next 2-3 years, because the roads are messed up, you're going to have to buy another $500,000 car. This is the circle that we find ourselves. And this is wrong, man. We got to think about people. But like Musa Ability said, one voice cannot cut it. And I will support people like Grace and anyone who will go back home and say, you know what? I'm going to put my foot in this race. I'm going to go ahead and run. I will do it. I will support them because it takes courage. It takes courage, but we need the voices in our country. But until then, even if I don't work in government, I am not going to keep myself struggling. People, no. I will enjoy myself because you know what? The Liberian people are enjoying themselves. They're enjoying the fact that they're being rescued right now. You see what happened in the country? They're enjoying it. Thank you.
So
Okay, this is my time to close. After I will ask the Liberian people what is the typical thing? What is a typical Liberian man dream? What does he need? Our country has been so. Our people have been so simple. Most of the men in the country just need to have a job, make sure their children going to school, their wives are well taken care of. Because in the Liberia that I grew up in, most of the women did not even work. They stay home when their husband went and provided for them. We are in a whole new era. This is the 21st century, so women are stepping up to the plate. But Liberians, usually they don't really need much. And the government can be able to provide these things for the people, but they are not willing because this government, they are a bunch of demons that have captured the nation. It's been going on. It's not only this government, because all the government that came to play that never made sure Liberia became something after this war. I have no respect for the people who actually work within the government, that they could not rally together to just make Liberia a better place for the people to live better and for the world to see. So it's hard to just sit down and watch how the country has been overtaken. And flood has taken over the country. It rained, the whole, especially Monrovia, the whole place is flooded. And these people are still fighting over buying for the $5,000, $100,000 car. It's just so sad. In a flooded nation, you guys should be fighting right now to figure out, in a flooded city, actually, Monrovia. Because the other day, somebody put on the platform there, Monrovia was built for 300,000 people to live in. Now they got 1 million people living in Monrovia. What you're thinking about doing, you're thinking about decentralizing the government so that the Liberian people can live better. That's the thing we need to be talking about, and giving your insight on maybe how we think that you should do it. But every time we cannot speak about that to help the government on this platform, because every time we cannot even try to help in things that we know to help the government to proceed and do better, we can't speak about it because why? The corruption take over the country. So the news is so much until you don't even have time to really just talk about how development can be carried out to help the people. And it's very, very sad. It's very, very sad, I tell you. So I am still disappointed in this government. I don't understand why people will go and beat the president because he don't deserve it. So far, he has not done nothing much.
Is this a real account or a fake account?
I don't know who put that. I don't know who put that.
Robert, every account on Facebook is a real account, but it is a pseudo account that make that.
Yeah, I don't think this is a real person yet.
No, it's a real person operating an account, but they just don't want to present their actual identity. I know the person. I know the person. So, but
who is Ben Rowe? Who is Ben Rowe?
I don't know who is Ben Rowe.
Who is Ben Rowe?
Ben Rowe don't have to support me. I can support myself. That's why I prepare myself. My parents made sure I was prepared to face the world. So I am. So I just like, this is where I am with this. And I will always go say to the Liberian people every time I come here, UP government and CDC government, they are not the way to the success of Liberia for change. Come 2029, you have to change your direction. These two governments cannot be voted into power anymore. Look at the people that present themselves, their vision, their plan, and their agenda for the country, and choose them. Anything UP, because UP, they are specialized in propaganda. They got their propagandists, like people like Eugene Fagon. He worked for CDC, he worked for UP. He did that very well. He sat on platform until the point he was kaka koro. He said all those things just because he wanted government to win, to step in a position. So these people, you can't believe them in 2029. That's what we're saying to you. You can never believe that. I don't care who they bring to represent the party. Change your direction to a new set of group of people that will change Liberia. And until Liberians can do that, that will not be, Liberia is not going to go anywhere. And if they don't take down the way Liberia going, we'll not be surprised if coup come to that country because people getting fed up. That's my closing.
In my closing, let me use this opportunity to first of all send birthday greetings to my brother Jesse. He celebrated his birthday in North Carolina yesterday. Happy belated birthday to you. Regarding the national issue, again, this is something that we will have to continuously fight about. We will have to address it continuously because it appears as though everybody who comes to government don't come with the intention of actually serving. They come with the idea of enriching themselves. because they don't understand that the idea of governance is service oriented. You must actually have the idea to transform what you may be presented with. Unfortunately, 98% of those who we bring to power are not people who are looking in the direction of transformation. They are not innovatively thinking as to how Liberia and Liberians will benefit from the idea as compared when they speak of transformation. They are all about what can they benefit from the government. So they abuse the system. Unfortunately, we will sit here and continuously speak of these things, and then at the end of the day, the people will continue to react the way they react. Because why? Some of us, they self-proclaim, in quotation, the self-proclaimed educated people, we continue to deceive the people. We will see the bad things, and because of the lazy argument that it is impossible, the people's minds are made up. The people already made up their mind. They made their mind a few years before time, and we would not help them make rational decisions as to how we can move Liberia forward. So we will continue to sit here and fight. But I personally, and I can say this and I'll continue to say this, that we will not give up easily. We will continue to fight, and we will fight vigorously to make sure that Liberia is transformed, regardless of who is in power. Okay? We will fight you until we can make sure that the young people who are victims today will end up being the beneficiaries of the society that we all hope for. We all live in a country where the system works. We are provided support. Why is it that people who are in government today don't see reason? You will take young men out of the United States to go to Liberia and take money undercover instead of giving him job. This man who could work here, you rather give him job from the agencies that's supposed to give him money undercover as compared to getting jobs. This is sad, man. It is sad that we can do this because we believed in lies upon lies where we will buy into this idea. Look. Now today, the LDEA, young Liberians are dying from drug abuse, drugs addiction. Okay, we taught to hire we taught to hire people from here who will get the job done instead of having us focus on a system that will work. Guys, I'm sorry to say this, but it is sad that we have a long way to go. Nevertheless, those who are victims of these circumstances are the people who are defending the perpetrators, the thieves. Look, I listened to my young brother over here, Lasana, attempting to defend those who are keeping him in the situation he found himself in and fighting with everything he have in him because he wants to be seen as the rescue giant. Little does he understand that you're doing it at your own risk. But anyway, it was great being on here, by the way. Dareth Delon trip to the UNGA, his visa to the UNGA was conditioned, okay? It limited travel and everything. So don't let him lie to you when he appears as though he's traveling, coming to the United States. He was granted visa. His visa was restricted.
You can't leave the premise of the UNGA.
Dareth Delon got a restricted visa. His visa was restricted. Don't let him lie to you. When you travel, you sit
So man, they haven't launched tomorrow in Philadelphia. So
okay. We'll see. Please post a picture of that.
Okay. Let me. I wouldn't agree to that. On a serious note, there's no reason why the U.S. government would restrict Mr. Delon.
Well, Delon don't about his judge.
I don't want to speculate here. I would dismiss that immediately.
You can do it at your own. You can do it at your own risk.
No, I'm not doing it at my own rate. I'm doing it with something that I know of. Now, listen, if the U.S. government wanted them to come for some reason, they would deny visa. There are certain issues they won't restrict. Now, the reason why sometimes they restrict folks about the visa issue is on some line that the person is a very extremely high-profile government officials, the president, the vice president, the rest of that. Probably some of them, but Mr. Dillon, Senator Dillon didn't do anything wrong that would warrant he be limited in 25-mile radar means from the UN. I don't want to believe that. I think that is probably he's trying to joke here. The senator will even travel to Arizona. He so desire to go to Arizona. He will go to Arizona.
We'll wait to see that then.
Oh yeah, you know, yeah. I would not be surprised if you had to see they're not moving beyond New York and even going to. You know,
well, again,
again, it is now a wrong thing for the senator to travel. The senator is a very strategic person on the Committee on Foreign Affairs. Listen, we're talking about coming to the United Nations, and we have to be very fair. I may not like this person, but he is the chairman on foreign relations of the Honorable Senate. There's no reason. It's a strategic that the foreign minister appoint part of the delegation.
Sylvester, the same thing we're talking about Army Carr, and you were dead. We supposed to somebody else. You see
what?
We're talking about Army Carr.
I didn't say anything wrong here.
Up there is wrong. He's standing in New York, showing picture, arriving New York City.
It is not wrong. It's not wrong.
Yeah.
It is not wrong. We need someone. It's not the first time happening. And listen, and I'm gonna take my line. I will take the hit on whoever want to hit me on what want to hit me on. And I always want to be. I will allow my conscience to let me say what I want to say, what is right. If something is wrong, sometimes I will say it's wrong in a way, and that's my opinion in many cases. But this issue about governance, the chairman of the Honorable Liberian Senate on Foreign Relations, right, Foreign Affairs, is coming with the Liberian delegation to the United Nations. I mean, that's a key role here. And remember, Liberia is playing and pushing for a very powerful non-permanent member on the Security Council. If we are pushing for those things, we eventually need for our government to ratify certain instruments. Part of the ratification process of those instruments, we have to be key on strategic member of the foreign committee being present to observe what is unfolding in the country. It is important that we have those kind of government officials to be part of our delegation so that we now do a representation in the national legislature. If we were to do some rectification in terms of any instrument about the United Nations, about our role as a non-permanent member on the Security Council. It's important. It's vital. It's part of the reason that the government even wrote former President Salih, former President Weah, and former Nobel Peace winner, Nyenwolo, to seek their support in pushing the Liberian agenda. Even ECOWAS unanimously gave their backing to Liberia for that seat also. It is a huge thing. So we needed to bring folks that would be part of the process of allowing this issue to unfold. So Mr. Dillon or Senator Dillon trip here in the US on this trip. That is supporting this trip 100%.
What does Dillon understand about foreign relationship? Come on,
he is the chairman.
What does Dillon understand about foreign relationship?
My time to close, everybody. My time.
No, your time coming. Your time coming quick.
Yeah, so we're gonna end it. We gotta go, man.
Yeah, come in. You know what? See, it comes to me talking about Una. You're talking about I read my case. Una guy. You see it? Quickly, the Professor Lumumba from Kenya. You know what he said? And listen to what he said. When it comes to fighting corruption in a nation, when they hit the Lumumba, all the Lumumba can say I want on there.
Yeah.
After they protect him. When they hit the Baza, man, all the Baza folks.
No, but you know what?
Say that African problem, but the irony about Africa there.
It was interesting to see.
My own is not corrupt, but the other people corrupt.
I was in New York. Well, in New York on Saturday, we had dropped some folks back, and I said, see the Loma and the Kisi Pool. I said, in line, the Lapa crossing here. See the puppet and all that. Wow, hat. I said, there you go.
They get your money back?
Peabody, you're right.
We're good. Yeah, they did.
My uncle.
Thank you, man. Ron, thank you as always. Thank you. All rescuing the group. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
My uncle reached out to me asking me, "Oh, you in New York? You coming to that?" I said, "For what? If I'm here in New York, not to join you guys to go welcome a bunch of people."
Okay,
Yeah.
in my closing, let me recognize one of our panelists, Johnny Ndebi, Senior Program Officer of the Carter Center. He's in the U.S. as guest lecturer. He'll be speaking at on the topic understanding Liberia customary conflict management resolution practices and procedures. Congratulations, Johnny. Look forward to engaging you. Represent well.
The best thing coming anyway. I tell you, let me know.
Make Liberia proud. Go ahead and make Liberia proud, brother.
We did it well on Friday, bro.
I'm proud of you. Very proud.
Yeah, he's at Kennesaw.
But
for the week.
Yeah.
Who wait?
He gotta die. Myean Gawi.
Okay.
But guys, on Wednesday, the president of Liberia will be addressing the UN for his first time as president. I'm looking carefully at what he will talk about the war crimes court. As you're aware, the U.S. government sent somebody in Liberia today. The same woman who Adam were attacking at the hearing is a woman they sent here, Beth. I don't know how to manage now. The woman who were attacking during the hearing is the woman the U.S. government sent here. So apparently the bugger and the Adam White guys going to find it. And by the way, I can see it happening because I know that lady will not work with them. But I'm happy that they sent someone for the War Crimes Court. We look forward to see what the engagement will be. So watching President Bugger's speech. I know each president is allotted 15 minutes to speak to the world body. Want to see what he told the War Crimes Court. And President Biden will be giving his final address to the UN on Tuesday, I think tomorrow, if I'm mistaken. Yeah. So we look forward to all of that. But at the same time, how to call it? Let me tell you what you guys did. What you guys have done tonight. What you guys did tonight. UP folks are saying now that they're braving the storm to come on closing argument now. You see, look, sometimes you mix it up. Now they are saying, they say, well, Lofa and Bravo then will stop and Grace there. We'll come in there. So hopefully we'll see Wednesday.
We heard that before.
Wednesday we'll see the first UP man come in. The first UP guy will become on. I will not call his name. He coming on Wednesday. He'll join us here. So we'll see. We'll start from there. It's always good to, as I tell people, our platform is not opposition. We have people with diverse views. There are some days where
get paid to destroy people.
If the government is not doing well, the guys will come and will come on them strong. If they do anything, if Baga made any good appearance at the UN on Wednesday, his speech is well laid out. We're praising. Right? If it's not thing that will encourage impact Liberian people to benefit us, we'll be critical. So we're not here to just say we destroy somebody. Right now, I'm sorry. From what I'm seeing, I see things falling apart on somewhere. I pray that they can fix it because
but why stand up black? Why stand up black the man?
Well, the man say you're talking. You're spilling beans.
That's his brother, though. That's his brother, not the panelist.
Dad, they didn't scare with you. You can't go.
If he didn't foresee that coming. One of the people who buried the business
better than who are calling all 4 Hebrew boys.
Yeah, Hebrew boys, man. And so
I coming. Who black who?
Stand up black Hassan Fatiga.
The guy was but Hassan was never on Spoon though. It was who was on Spoon. So
yeah, but he wore blue shoes and went to Florida. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, he did.
So, but look, guys, now, you know.
But you know what? UP have been pumping money in that platform. You don't know. Not getting back. They're getting back. They eat the money from people. They destroy them.
Everybody on the platform where what's happening. Everybody there. So everybody doing their own thing. That's why problem.
Man, the whole platform going down, man.
Is that blue shoe?
Yeah, that blue shoe.
Let me see that. Let me see.
My man, you're trying for the other day, making fun of
They got Rouse and blue shoe.
So he what did the blue shoe signify? It signified what? Patriotism or solidarity?
You did this. You brought the thing up. You did it.
It's a blue shoe.
You're talking to someone like that.
Man. Why will you knock the man down while he's already down? This is where you should support the brother, man. Hassan is a nice guy. I don't agree with him, but he's a nice guy. The man went all the way to Florida, wore blue shoes, When
Let
a
me get-
people for your business.
Wait,
they
no.
blacking you.
You not see the reason here, Raul. The man blue suit and blue hat, matching their blue in the middle.
He got them battle.
Go, stand up, go.
He got them battle.
Yeah, man. I like talking your thing now.
Man.
Yeah, what's talking there?
I think it's funny. Why you asking us? Why you asking us to go ask Stanton why he blocking? Call him and ask him why you
My brother
blocking.
cannot be on the platform and then I get blocked on that platform like that. At least he'll advocate for me. So what's going on? I don't believe it.
Well,
No, bring it back.
I
Bring
have
it back.
no control over the platform.
I think that it's just made. It was made up. It was made up.
It ain't
Blacking,
happy.
man.
It
I
ain't
have no
happy.
control of the platform. You saw what happened.
No, but listen now. Don't forget now. You guys listen now. Hey, now where the guys were stopping in Liberia? Which hotel?
Oh, so you were saying he's still leasing on Moda's hotel? I mean Moda.
Okay. No, but in that so now and who attacking? Who been attacking? I mean, if you did.
Oh, so the Bada King, his brother out too.
Okay.
Wait. So let me ask you a question.
Wait a minute, you want around it, man? You want around it, man? He said, man.
Tell me, let me ask you a question. So are you saying there's a possibility that they may have to move to another hotel? Is that what you're saying?
No, but if I defend it, why move on ever? I defend it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can be your shoulder there. I'll be causing you. Come on.
Oh, somebody said the in room run toward Bella Casa.
Oh,
No, but listen. If Patika want to come on the closing argument to defend his point, he's welcome at any time.
No, I'll call him later.
But guys, welcome to the platform. Yeah,
Raul, you out of minute wear blue?
Let me tell you, that's Stanton. Look, that Stanton man is dangerous. He's a criminal per accident. That man is a very dangerous man. I don't care to know Stanton from a
your best friend Kev will come after you, but stop it.
Man, Kehleboe, my brother, my relationship with him different. I can tell him his fit. That man is a criminal per accident. I don't want to know him. Dangerous man, very dangerous man. They will learn the hard way. Wait until he go to prison and come back.
Guys, so Lofa, we're gonna start with the brother. We got Tuesday open. Let's see what happened. Let's do what we got.
okay.
But too many. Are you going to New York?
I was in New York Saturday, my man. Where I go back, my man? They said my go for the town hall meeting. I said, nah, man.
I ain't going back.
Where's the town meeting?
Oh, you're coming. You're not coming. I said,
at the DJ, it's on Curtis School, high school.
It was
New York, Staten Island?
It's high school.
Yeah.
I said, my little man, the Secret Service, and the Secret Service detail prepare for him, man. What? AJMB, enjoying our gym. What?
Oh yeah, but you.
But guess who here too? They get here too. Karishma, all of them here.
Yeah,
Her first time in the U.S., right?
That charisma
her first
sector,
time in the US.
Her sector area, she's the assistant minister for international organization.
Yes, that her first time in the U.S. She's been going to China. You see what government can do?
Yeah, so she's the assistant minister. So she did already with the U.S.
Let's be honest, right? Karishma is my I would call her my sister. Everything we talk behind the scene, but.
They get one kind of show, but they get your hard time. So you come here. You can have money.
Yeah, man.
But why they keep running from us?
Listen, if I were her, I would just stay right there. You're not gonna expose yourself or nothing.
Oh, Raul, you said our first time coming here?
I think so. I never seen her in America before.
Not that she
can no matter go to bed, yeah.
And traveling to all the places, but
She's
not
traveling to other places, but not the US. You see your man Dylan? He love America business with his long hair.
Yeah. So Pewee, you need foreign service. When before, if I want to travel and they say I got a request for how to call it no verbal.
Wait, okay, so okay for Lofa to defend his friend Karishma, right?
Oh, hold on. Wait.
Okay.
Bank out.
That Ben came from here.
I'm at an event with my daughter, so I can put a video on. But it's okay for Lofa to know his own government official.
Exactly.
Lofa never defended anybody.
Exactly.
Anybody on here?
He know his government official there. He defended.
Wait, Ben. Who did I defend on here?
Defending Karishma. Karishma, my own sister. Don't mind me,
but Ben, who did I defend? I didn't defend Karishma.
Listen, you heard what he said, Jana?
No, Ben got a soft spot for her. The way he said it.
I agreed, though.
When he wants to say his own, then he can be stuttering. But then he said Dillon get
restricted visa.
You know, and I want Pewee told you the processes of this democracy and the
where a minute say the Prime Minister, what you say?
Oh, the corridor, all the corridors have been worked on. I come up there, Roland, the other day. I said, Roland, how the corridors? He said, what? And he said, the corridors. The corridors, we working on the corridors.
I also.
I got a recommendation. Maybe we should make this on our team song. Maybe we should make our team song for this show.
This song, what about hotel?
I said you see Ben Peabody, man.
I never knew Ben could dance like that.
I didn't know that dog would get down.
I didn't know that.
Ben Son's birthday, graduation. I didn't know Ben could dance. Ben even danced. I want some graduation as compared to
Lofa, you get la. Look at Lofa get
la. No, Lofa. I didn't even know that Ben. My first time seeing Ben exhibit his talent was at the United Conference Center at the time. I said, wow. I said, this guy is extremely talented. I didn't know we got some young people talented this way. But the second time I saw Ben exhibit those things, I saw Ben doing the acrobatic way of moving, right?
Look at.
I said, Ben. I said, Ben, what?
That is son, yeah. That is son.
I said, microphone. I said, a friend.
No, but let me say this. In all fairness, look, we built something special at Spoon. We can't. Yeah, everybody.
No, to be frank.
Everybody knows that we built a strong machine, and contrary to what people think, we didn't leave because Stanton wanted to support the Unity Party and we wanted to support CDC. We all knew at some point we were going to make the determinations, but at the end of the day, we wish him well. We wish him well.
You left because Stanton is a snake and he's a criminal.
Yeah, I beg you. You ready now? You ready? You see, I told you're a businessman. You're not a politician. You gotta be careful how you just talk. Robert, you gotta do. I'm not trying to train you to politics. You don't just talk like that all kind of way. Yeah, you just talk. Yeah, Robert Garguah, man. Yeah. But guys, I'm telling you, my phones have been buzzing. I think the folks on the Unity Party, I said, and I told them, I said, look, y'all come on the show, y'all make your kids. This is an independent platform.
But why the man ran away?
No, his phone got something happening. He will come out on his phone.
Yeah. That's the excuse we'll take. Okay, we'll take that.
So Lofa, I confirm that you don't have a restricted visa. You need to stop saying that. Why
okay, when we see Dillon in other places, then I'll admit that he doesn't have one.
I know you have a partner with Robert on this issue, but
no, it's not a matter of whether I have partnership with Robert on it, but I know Dillon is restricted.
And Pewee, you said what Dillon come in do? He come in to rectify some agreements?
No. I didn't say come in. No. Don't get me wrong, Ben. Yes, what I said.
Yeah, high grade. High grade black. That
all Dillon is the chairman of the foreign relation in the Liberian Senate. It is important that Liberia is pushing for a major non-permanent Security Council seat, that you bring some of those major individuals in the legislature to be part of the delegation. Now, there may be some possibility of some ratification of some major instruments that relative to that process. So, I mean, he will see the workings of how the UN is supporting.
I enjoy
it. But he is the chair on foreign affairs. So in
order to be effective at that, one must possess that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing that says you have degree to be on that.
This will be the Honorable Senator's second appearance at the UNGA.
What did I know about? What did I know about?
What does Dillon know about foreign
policy? Don't forget, guys, you got staff in your office that can prepare you for this thing.
Exactly.
I will tell you guys on this. Dillon is heavily limited on foreign affairs.
Don't do that, man.
About foreign affairs.
The only thing I gotta say about this, Liberia got money. And people will eat it and enjoy it.
That's all that they're doing there.
Do you agree that people can learn the apprenticeship thing?
I'm sorry?
Do you agree that folks learn via this issue that we talk about time to time, apprenticeship?
You understand that? That's why the
Moving
issue of
us, man.
apprenticeship is yes.
That's
I
it,
agree
that's
in that,
Hey, guys,
but the law is
guys,
limited.
No, he's not limited. He's a smart
They
man.
don't have been effectively. They don't have been effectively.
The law, if the law was as effective as we want to make it seem, we would have